would anyone like to do a recap of this game?
I can do it unless anyone else would prefer to.
Go for it.
Okay, so we started off last session with the trade caravan from our human friends to the east having arrived. There was a group of them. They had, I believe, one large wagon pulled by some horses. A couple of people, including including a kid with a notebook, who everyone decided was terrifying. We started having some discussions. We began negotiations, and after finding out quite various different things about them, we ended up trading an amount of mostly the old weapons we'd cleared out and some resources and things for effectively a crap ton of food, a bit of cloth, but mostly a load of food. Making use of this food and our charming cleric's new abilities, almost called you a priest then, we have decided that food is a lot less of a problem now, and we have transitioned a lot of our foragers to more dwarvenly pursuits, digging out the mine, clearing out the fortress, and making it more of a home, and hopefully unlocking that mine. However, we had a bit of time left in the day, so... Oh yes, there's also a brewer who is obsessed with getting the secrets of our brewing rather than our actual beer. They didn't really get anything yet, but we could tell that they were interested in, and there was at least someone that acknowledged that dwarven craft is best craft, and that felt good. That's my takeaway from that. We decided, after this successful negotiation, and reorganizing the dwarves, and I believe we had a nice meal, sort of a bit of a celebration with some drinking. It was good. We had a bit of time left. That we went exploring for a landmark that was mentioned by the humans. On the way, though, we found something else, a little path off into the hills and the mountains above our fortress entrance, and found what appeared to be some sort of ruined tower or shrine or building that seems to have been maybe a bird-organized shrine to a wind god or an eagle god. We had the name. I don't have it in front of me, and I don't have a memory. We poked around this. It was very windy and it was very cold, but it was an interesting piece of culture. And just as we were planning on sort of returning to the fortress, Iona, flying up using her keen eyesight, enhanced by magical glasses, spots a load of, well, let's just say, unassociated rather than feral Aarakocra, and without warning, flew off to go make introductions. That was where we left off.
That is indeed where we left off. So it's about it was about a 2-hour walk to get to the shrine, and it's about a 10-minute flight to get back to the fortress.
Unfortunately, Citrine doesn't have wings yet.
No. Citrine, I think you also left Citrine behind because this was all a bit tricky for them.
It's int 6. It's perfectly capable of doing what it wants. It's clever.
I can have one of us fly.
I mean, I can. If I'm within a mile, I can just tell Citrine with my brain powers to be like, just wait or head back or whatever. So it's fine. Interesting. Flying. Do we want to fly? Do we want to just see what happens?
I don't know if we do. This is the question, because I think it's only one of us can, because I can only concentrate on one spell at a time.
Yeah, and you can't upcast it yet, can you?
Nope. Can't upcast it at all.
Because it's... Oh, right, yeah. So, yeah, of course.
So it's whether or not you want to... It's worth sending the extra person.
I think... So, I'm caught on two minds, and I'm aware that we're having this OC, which is...
This is fine.
Bird has flown off to talk to the bird. That seems perfectly reasonable. Let's not use the fly unless something goes wrong and we need it for combat. But also, we've just sent no skills charisma 8 to do all our talking, which is awful, but potentially hilarious.
I think we should just walk back. It's not like they're attacking us.
How far, like, are they going? Are they, like, nearish by, or is she just flown off and is not, like, is she, like, 5 minutes away, or she's going to be, like, gone and we'll meet her back at the fortress? Like, what sort of distance are we looking at?
I mean, it depends if this is an in-character discussion. I think, Hannah, you probably know how fast Iona would have taken off when she saw people arriving at the fortress.
Birds arrived at the fortress.
Yeah, that's why she's flown.
Oh, I thought I thought she just saw them off in the hills. My
Oh
mistake.
no, they
they
arrived at
showed
your
up.
fortress.
Ah, then I misunderstood.
She would have
Irrelevant.
taken off as soon as she saw them.
I see. Well, yeah, then my question doesn't matter, because that answers that. I was probably just, like, gonna...
Let's just walk back.
Yeah, you just sort of walk over after her to, like, the edge of the cliff and see where she's going. It's like, oh, it looks like she's going back to the fortress. I guess we're taking the long route back. Fine. Did we spot the birds, or did only Hannah spot the birds?
I
Pretty
believe
sure
only
only
Hannah spotted the birds with
spot.
her bonus eyes.
Hmm.
Right.
She had
Okay.
flown up to do a bonus bird scouting maneuver.
Well, let's get hiking. So I think we're just gonna trudge back,
Yep.
And will not be appearing in the rest of this session.
all sort of thinking this is why we shouldn't be above ground.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So, Iona's gonna, as she's flying back to the fortress, she's gonna have a little encounter. It depends if you want to be surprised OC when your characters show up by the situation, or whether you would rather...
I
Just-
think being surprised OC would be
Yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
make-
Take
make-
it private.
Make use of the tech. Go use that secrets channel. That's why we have it.
We're going to use the secret chat. I'm going to move everyone to the fortress map. There's nothing really happening there since last time. Well, actually, there's more stuff going on, but you can't see it. It's a whole new section of map. But yeah, there's no spoilers happening there. It's just where we're going to be. And yeah, I will take Hannah to a private chat. This might take a little while. Please be
We won't be
patient.
alone.
Roleplay amongst yourselves.
Is that?
Yeah. Let's go to secret chat. Okay. Flying back to the fortress. And you're flying very, very fast. You're doing a great job.
Okay. Well, I kind of had an idea for my approach.
Mhm.
Like, I wasn't going to immediately land and start talking to them. I was thinking if I could circle over, check them out better before I introduce myself.
Okay. You fly back closer to the fortress, and you see, they're far enough away that they probably wouldn't have been spotted by the fortress yet, unless they had, like, a lot of people on lookout. Chances are the fortress hasn't seen the Aarakocra that are approaching yet, but you can fly close enough to get a good look at them.
Okay.
And especially with your vision being much better than theirs, you can see that they're, like, lurking in some treetops, looking at the fortress, scouting. It's the daytime, but most of your dwarves are either out for the day or shut up inside. So they're looking, they're peering, they can't really see what's going on inside. One of them is a kiwi bird, and one of them is a lorikeet.
That's... Do they look suspicious, though?
You can't really... I mean, it looks pretty suspicious the way they're eyeing up the fortress, but you're not particularly close to them. You're very far away, because that's the only way you can see them without them seeing you, unless you try and stealth to get closer
Okay.
and get a better look at them.
Actually, I was kind of thinking I would go the other way and try to catch the sun and see if I can get them to notice me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna like fly across between them and the fortress? Is that what we're
Yeah.
going for? Yeah.
But I'm not gonna land just yet. I just want to get their attention, see how.
Okay. You dive bomb past them in a blur of feathers, and you hear a indistinct shout from the two of them, and they immediately start flying after you.
Okay, I want to start leading them away toward the staircase that we climbed up the mountain.
Okay. You start leading them back towards the staircase. One of them, you're a pretty good flyer. The Kiwi seems to be having trouble keeping up with you. But the lorikeet is managing just fine. So kind of trailing behind you a little bit. And you can lead them back to the base of the stairs.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna take them.
Okay. So are you going for the bottom of the stairs, or are you going to go try and regroup with the party part way up the stairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and regroup.
Okay. Yeah, they've dropped everything to follow you. Now that they're getting close to you, and you're nearly back at it has been like a solid 10-minute flight. You notice that they do look a bit familiar. It's hard to tell when you're flying fast and just glimpsing behind you and they're pursuing you. They may be shouting something, but it's lost to the wind. They're quite far behind you. But yes, they do look possibly familiar.
So, would we have met back up with everyone now, or?
It depends if you want to turn around and confront them on your own, if you want to lead them back to the party.
Well, I originally intended to lead them to the party.
You are welcome to do just that. I'm going to move everyone back to the shrine.
Okay.
And for reasons of time saving and map saving, we will maybe say that they didn't make it far from the shrine.
Okay.
Because I don't have a map for the stairs.
We'll use our imaginations.
So you can all do the imaginations. Yeah, you can lead them back to the shrine. That is something that they seem pretty committed to following you. You wouldn't expect normal scouts for your fortress to follow you this far. Let's go back to the main chat.
Interesting.
Hello.
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 I hope you've all been behaving. You may have noticed that you're back at the shrine.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
This is because, no less than about 20 minutes after she flew away, Iona has come back, however far you've progressed. And I don't have a map for the stairs. So we might just, it's taken you a while to get your stuff. Maybe she led them back to the shrine. Because hot on her tail, I say that, one of them is lagging behind pretty badly. There are two Aarakocra. They're pretty far behind her. She's flying pretty fast. They're sort of trailing behind by... They're quite small against the sky, maybe a mile away. But yes, they appear to be pursuing Iona back towards the shrine where she left you. And I'll assume that you
Pursuing,
see
not
her in
following.
good enough time to hurry back up to the shrine and meet her
Okay.
at the shrine.
They look armed.
They're a mile away.
That's true.
It's hard to know.
It's fair. It's very fair.
Okay.
Yes. Sort of, like watching, like generally braced and like waiting for Iona to come back.
Iona, you have... I mean, we could do initiative now and do time until they show up if that's something you'll be interested in. Or what we can do is... I think you'll have a very brief time to have this conversation where you explain the situation.
Yeah.
You tell us
And
time,
then-
Timothy, when they turn up.
And then, yeah, I'll just say, uh-oh. They're getting closer. And, yeah.
So
So-
I've made it back now?
You bomb it back. You fly very fast. You make it back to the shrine. The others have seen you approaching, and after making their slow progress down the steps, they then have to run back up the steps to meet you.
Everyone, I've found two possibly suspicious. I don't know, but they're coming this way, so be prepared for anything.
Did you speak with them?
I flew by and got their attention, so just
Are
in
they
case
hostile?
they were. I don't know, but if they were, now they're not at the fortress.
Are they armed?
I didn't spot any noticeable weapons.
You weren't able to look at them closely enough to tell if they had weapons. You could tell the type
Yeah.
of bird they were, and you could tell.
Alright, well, just to be safe, and I'm going to cast Fly on Dravora.
Okay. How long does this last? And
I
I-
believe it's an hour.
This gives me a flight speed of 30 feet.
60.
Let me get the spell. The thing is, I don't have the spell description in Roll20 because it's not actually a spell I can cast. So it is up to 10 minutes concentration, and you gain a flying speed of 60 feet.
The fastest in the party.
Well, you're not. You're tied with the bird.
No, the bird's 50.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well done.
I think, like, you cast this, she sort of tests by, like, going up on the balls of her feet in a way that doesn't, like, without her muscles. Like, feels very unnerved by this and just returns back to the earth with, like, a really bent, low stance. I'm like, I'm gonna do it if I have to, but I like you, ground. Lovely, lovely ground.
Alright, and I'm casting that using the lyre. So that is one of the lyre's spells gone for the day.
Okay. The figures that you can see against the sky are getting closer. And yeah, Iona, now that you're kind of getting a chance to look at them with your good vision, and you're no longer just running past them and away from them, or flying past them and away from them, you're just sort of looking at them. They do look familiar, especially the way that the kiwi bird in the back is just really rubbish at flying.
Isn't that sweet?
I think I've got the weapon out, but it's not, like, aggressively held up, it's just prepared.
Okay.
I don't know if that's necessary, friend.
You said you didn't know what they were about?
It's hard to say. They seem almost familiar.
Alright, I'll just wait here in the cold then.
Oh, I was planning on starting with talking, but there's no harm being prepared.
Okay.
If they think
And so the two birds approach, flying into the little sort of patio area you're in, with all of the brightly coloured ribbons tied around you. The wind is very strong, as it always is in this place. And they crash to the ground in front of you, and I'm going to find some little burb icons for the burbs.
I like the idea that it's a kiwi, so it should be able to fly, but it's now a cockroach, so it has a fly speed, so it's just really shit at flying. It doesn't
Yeah.
like it.
The faster one sort of stops and waits a bit for the slower one, so it takes them a little time to approach. And as they get closer, Iona does indeed recognize them as Picky and Marina.
What are you guys doing?
What are you doing here?
I I thought you were still living in the old home.
What? These appear to be two Aarakocra guards who have survived the demise of your fortress.
Do any of us recognize them?
It depends on how likely you are to recognize.
Uncle would recognize.
Yeah, probably.
As for the rest of you, whether or not you recognize them is up to your interaction with the guards. But they are legitimately guards from your former fortress.
I am okay with Hannah picking who recognizes them.
I've probably told stories about. We definitely played ball together, so if you guys ever checked out our spot, you would recognize them.
That's a fair point. Alright, so they're sports stars.
Stars. Bit of a stretch.
I don't know if Birdball was highly regarded in your fortress, really.
It's like a mid-low tier.
It was for the birds.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
birds loved it. Okay. So yeah, and the birds just barrel towards Iona. Marina just crashes into her pretty much, sweeping her up in her wings. I didn't know you'd survived.
Well,
How
I
did you
didn't
make it
know.
out?
What? I was never in. When the thing, I don't know. It wasn't even an issue.
Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, I'm so glad. We've lost
I
so
want to hear
many.
your story.
We were stuck. There was a group of us, a big group of us. We got stuck right near the exit. There were so many of them. Yeah, a load of dwarves got stuck right inside the exit. But there was this thing outside the room. We tried to wait it out for a few days, and the monsters, they were moving around, and we could hear them out there. They were coming in and out of the doors. There were just these great scraping sounds, and eventually, I think she just snapped, but Vicious just flung the door open, and we fought them, and we tried to make time for people to run. There was just one outside the door, so I guess we were lucky and we didn't have far to run. But we lost a lot of people.
Did MVP? Did she? What happened to her?
She's gone.
No! Not
I didn't
the
know there was-
MVP.
I didn't know anyone was left apart from our lot.
How did you find this place, though?
Well, you weren't... It was only... I don't know how long we were in there, but I think it was only a few days at most. And when we saw the wagons were gone, and it's not like you exactly left a subtle path through the forest with the big wagons. We lost you maybe 30 miles away from where we found Iona. We lost the trail. And I don't know. Yeah, we followed you for a while,
Two
and then
of you
we'd
then?
lose you, and we'd have to stop and scout, and then we'd find your trail again. At least we thought it was yours. It was a bit of a long shot.
Is it only you two?
No, there's more of us. I think maybe 30 in all.
30.
Mostly dwarves.
Oh, good.
But there were so many more in there with us.
You did an excellent job protecting everyone.
We didn't protect everyone, Iona.
You did your best.
That's not the same thing.
Well,
Well, we should go get everyone.
Yes. That's,
Casey,
Yes.
how legit does their story seem?
Yeah.
Okay, so
There's like 3 dwarves
give
going.
me
Those of us with insight checks is like.
everyone who wants to may make an insight check.
I am suspicious.
Mm, their story seems so in like a broad insight sense. It seems they believe what they're saying.
Okay.
And it's plausible enough because there were big wagons. You were taking a bit of an unorthodox route, and everyone was a bit traumatized that you left a massive and obvious trail behind you of just debris and smashing through the woods, and that if someone was pretty dedicated and put in a lot of effort, they could probably track you. And the Aarakocra guards of your fortress were pretty decent. It doesn't seem to make sense that they would just... The whole thing about them escaping sounds a bit weird. It seems pretty shocking that they... pretty strange that they'd be able to, hide somewhere, a lot of them, for long enough. And then also get out against even one of the monsters.
No, if anyone could do it, it's vicious.
There's just not even a hint of disbelief, obviously, from Iona.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Bloody, that's another lot of people. Yes, we should.
But Dravor and Singebid, yeah, it just seems plausible.
Well then, yes, we should go get them and bring them into our fortress, get them somewhere warm, get them something to eat.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, so the fortress is yours? We weren't sure.
Mm-hmm.
We just thought it might be friendly. That makes sense. We lost the trail a while ago. So we've just been ranging further and further every day. So everyone's camped out maybe 30 miles away.
Ooh, it's a bit of a trek.
Yeah. We've been flying just all day, every day.
Well, if you get them to trek up to the fortress, we can have some people take them in and check for injuries, feed you up.
Is there anyone that's in a particularly bad state?
No. We had a doctor with us, so most people are doing okay.
Nobody
All the
who's
ones that made it this far are doing okay. And you
nobody
have a
who is
fortress.
badly injured in the fighting to escape.
Oh yes. Well, either the doctor with us has mostly fixed them up, or they died on the way here.
I see.
Well,
It's been a long trip.
now I know it's been a long trip and you've been going through all sorts of stuff, but do you mind if I ask you something about it?
Yeah.
No.
We do this on the way down.
Well, yes. Yes, we can.
This conversation can continue on your walk down if you would prefer.
Yeah.
It's a long walk.
Now I know it's a bit of a sore subject, but you said when you were locked in somewhere and you burst out and there was one of the creatures or monsters you called them right then.
Yes.
Could you describe them? Was one of your party know what they were? Because I think for our part we don't really know what happened, and it sounds like you might know something.
Let me consult my notes, because I did not anticipate a description of the monsters.
We have no idea what it was, and you said that this person saw the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that I hadn't given you guys a description yet.
Yeah, we have no idea what they were.
Oh, that's fun. Ooh.
Home. Delicious cake is delicious.
Let's see. Okay. So, yeah. Which one are you asking to describe the monster? The one that's been doing most of the talking has been the kiwi bird. Vicky?
I guess, like, this is not, like, specifically us. I'm kind of just talking to the group, I guess, rather than specifically going for one of them. But I guess if the talky one is going to answer first, that's fine. It's not like I'm specifically addressing the quiet person.
Yeah. The quiet person is just kind of clinging to Iona at the moment.
Well, then I will address to the person that does not look like they're dealing with intense emotional distress.
Okay. Yeah, we saw them. They were big. They took up the whole corridor. And it had, I don't know, it didn't match up with what other people had said they'd seen. The ones that made it to the hiding place, they all described different things. But the one we saw, it had these big jet black like pincers, and it had a lot of mouths, and it was like shiny dark carapace, but then there were cracks in it, and the cracks were glowing just bright orange, and I don't know if it had any eyes. I don't think it really had. It just looked all wrong. All the dimensions when you looked at it, and the corridor. It didn't look that big, but it also took up the whole corridor, and it looked huge.
I sort of frown, think for a bit based on my time in the Ironclads, and then glance at Akeem and Singebeard. Have you two ever heard of any sort of creature like that from the depths that might change or look different or glow at all? Or look like it's not supposed to?
I don't know. Have we heard of anything like this before?
It's not really a nature thing, is it? But
It's just a...
Not really.
Like,
Well, I mean, it might be. Who knows?
It's
What's
nature,
the
it's just the
check
nature
here?
of a very different place than
It's-
the
it's
surface
a-
was.
Or
it's
it could be
a
it
weird
could be
nature
Arcana.
check.
I'd say Arcana.
Yeah, probably Arcana.
Okay.
Arcana. You haven't heard of anything that fits that description specifically. Shape-changing monsters, there's a sort of conventional surfacey stuff. But in terms of things from the deep, you know that there are occasional, mostly very historic, mentions of monsters from the deep in sort of legends of yore. Usually things warning against mining too deeply and too greedily. They often mention, they never mention explicitly what the creatures looked like. And they do drop inconsistent details between the legends. And yeah, I'm afraid with less Arcana than 16, you've not got much.
I'll do my best to relate that information. What I might do is also cast Minor Illusion and try and conjure up a picture based on the description, and ask, did it look like this?
How accurate is this gonna be?
Must be some sort of art roll, right?
There's gotta be like a, yeah. Because how this goes will really, because it's a sort of insight thing, because the way that Picky describes it is maybe more at length than what I roleplayed as well, if you ask them to elaborate. It's very rambly, a bit inconsistent. There's a lot of talk of spatial things around it. So yeah, just how you interpret that.
Okay. I mean, the other thing I could potentially do is recast, because it's a cantrip, so I could just recast it a couple of times, like, and say, oh, oh no, it was longer than that, and then I'll just create a version that's longer.
You spend the time while we're walking down the mountain just constantly changing it to try and like get a picture to like cross-reference in the books when we get back.
Yeah, basically.
We got time.
Okay, you spend a while conjuring and reconjuring it, and you figure you're starting to get pretty close at the time when Marina is having a little meltdown and Picky is just highly distressed by the image that you're summoning.
Maybe I should stop.
Roll emotional intelligence. The dwarf rolled a 2. Well, that's very helpful. That's very helpful. Thank you. I know it was hard.
I think potentially part of the problem with stuff like this is that they may not all look the same. If these are creatures from somewhere else.
I said that everyone described something different too, so maybe they look like different things to different people.
That's a
I have
possibility.
no idea how any of it works. I just sort of hit them. Oh, well, there's all sorts of libraries we uncovered. Maybe we can find something there.
Maybe. In fact, Katie, I would like to use my sage background, which I will stick in chat. Where do I know of anywhere where I might be able to, or any method by which I might be able to find out more information?
So, given how the whole incident happened, and now that you start to conflate it with maybe some very old legends from your fortress, some kind of, things where the details are very unreliable, but, very old histories of dwarven fortresses. This must have happened before if people dug really deeply, if that's something that happens every time.
So maybe there might be something in our fortress, in the new one?
Possibly. Very old dwarven fortresses are a sensible place to look. Probably the one you're currently in doesn't have any of the obvious destruction that was described as happening to the bits of the inside of the fortress that Peaky and Marina saw.
Right.
The fortress you're in has evidence of various things, but you're not sure it really matches up with weird dimension warping things.
Well, if we ever make contact with any other fortresses, maybe we can share the notes we've gotten and ask them to share what they can dig up. After all, if this is a thing that has a history of affecting a number of fortresses, then it's something we should probably all be aware of.
Further to that, pretty much any place with a really long memory, this will have probably happened to someone they're in contact with, maybe.
Oh no, don't say we can get some answers from elves.
Nope.
You love those.
I mean, the thing is, so Akeem will mention that it's possible that the elves might know something, but he'll say in the same breath that realistically the elves would never go underground enough to find out. So, but they might remember something that's happened to like other dwarves at some point.
Right. Okay. Pause in conversation as there's like two people that are now Like, I assume you just said at one point one of the birds is just sobbing as we walk.
Marina is clinging very tightly to Iona. That's the lorikeet.
Hmm.
Is she quite alright?
Oh, she's always like this.
Ah. Okay. I accept this at face value. So yeah,
Have you all seen the trading cards for these birds, by the way?
that's true. I should go and have a look at. I should remind myself. Are they an off-topic or are they? No, they must be in general.
Hmm.
Scroll. Past the owlbear Taurus
Yep.
bullshit.
At least there weren't any rats.
Dennis, Katie Beard.
It's a good look for me.
It is.
So we have
Nice.
Picky, which is the kiwi, and is that the talkative one or the huggy one?
Picky's the talky one.
Hmm.
Vicky's the one doing the talkative.
And we have, is it
And,
Marina?
Marina is doing the sadness. Vicious is the one they described as
The
doing the fighting.
one that heroically
And
like
also Clementine.
died to get them out.
Yeah, Vicious and Clementine.
Oh no.
She has
Funny.
hopped her last hop.
I know. I'm sad. I'm sad about Clementine.
Or alternatively, they will come back as some sort of zombie birds.
No.
Or like void.
I just think this campaign doesn't have enough zombies. So
Or maybe it might not be zombies.
All your friends are
They
coming.
might be like their spirit could be bound, and we could fight like creepy ghosts or void-infested beings, or I don't know what. Something
Mm.
horrific.
there's all kinds of corruptions of your friends that you can fight.
Exactly. There's always room for more trauma. Damn it.
The bird game anime has taken a dark turn.
Yep.
Okay, I will take you back to Fortress Map,
Alright.
where none of the news of this has spread to the members of your fortress, fortunately enough. Or unfortunately, depends what you're going for.
I think they'll be happy to see everyone.
Mm. I imagine I imagine rumors are gonna start spreading as soon as people start showing up and people start asking what's happened. So there's no sense in trying to control the information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's 30 people that saw it. I mean, we all
Mm.
ran from the same place, right?
Mm.
What's there to control?
Well, if we just want to make sure that people don't panic, that's all I'm thinking. Although I don't think they will. I think
Yeah.
everyone understands that it's
Maybe
unlikely to happen to us.
so maybe the elves will get a bit, elven about it. I think everyone sort of nods if that's a perfectly reasonable sentence. One thing we do
Okay.
need to consider though is, I don't really like saying it, but that's 30 more mouths to feed.
Well, we did at least get some more food pretty recently. I can imagine we can put them to work doing some more gathering.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Maybe we could see if we could set up some fishing at some point. I don't know if any of them are likely to be skilled in that, but that seems the other obvious source of food.
Maybe we got
True.
some better farmers, maybe some of the birds are good hunters, or... I don't know. We're going to be above ground, I imagine flying is all sorts of useful stuff. Maybe the hills are full of goats.
Picky was always good at finding burrowing animals.
Well, I suppose we could always feed them to the elves. Oh, you meant like, badgers and whatnot.
Yeah. Anything that goes up.
eating a badger? Well, yes, I suppose they're going to be more useful than not. And most importantly, I'm glad they all survived. That's a lot of extra
Yeah.
people that didn't die.
Well, our friend.
Well, yes, that too.
Okay, so news spreads pretty quickly once you get back. Since you've made no attempt to try and stop it, that there's been another group of survivors found. And you notice a very new, perhaps, feeling spreading through the dwarves of your fortress, one you haven't seen that much of since you saw a bit after you first moved into the fortress, but just genuine hope. These dwarves are thinking of, their friends, their loved ones, anyone that they didn't straight up see die has the potential to be in this new group coming. And so there's hope, but there's also a sort of, maybe a sense of slight concern of who it will be that has survived.
I see. So are we doing any... Get off! Don't move me off my horse!
Oh, sorry.
My horse!
I'll put the horse there. You're on the horse now.
I mean, I just rode back, so why... I imagine just sat on its back.
I thought it was just a random horse and you'd accidentally ended up underneath it.
Oh no, it's my horse.
Being trod on.
It's my chunky boy.
There's your chunky boy.
It just for the re-describing, in case people don't remember, it is like quite a stocky horse. It's not... it's like a very broad, stocky horse. It's got some slight features of goat. Like, it's got that, like, way the back, its back, like, hips have that, like, goat mounds to them. It's got a goatee, like you see some goats get, and it's got, like, a pair of those, like, spiral horns. Not the ram horns, but, like, the upward spiral horns that some goats have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably quite unimpressed with the fact that it was summoned to this plane of existence and then asked to have a small ride and then eat some grass on the spot for 5 hours.
I don't know. Maybe it's like, oh man, this is a sweet gig.
It's
I
true.
don't, I don't have to do shit. This is great.
No one set me on fire. It was the best day ever.
So, with all this, a search party / rescue party is assembled pretty quickly for the next day, and nearly everyone wants to go. They all want to go. They're not sure what state these dwarves are in. They want to help. They want to, importantly, see if any of their friends or loved ones have survived. Are you going to try and
I think we may
prevent
need to
this
stop
in any
them
way?
from all going.
Yeah, we'll have to get a specific...
Everyone wants to go, pretty much.
we like pick a set number, maybe 5, 3.
Make sure all of the Aarakocra are there so that they can, once they meet up, they can take a list of names and fly it back as quickly as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't send anyone with like this is not a discussion we're having in front of everyone. Actually, this is a private discussion. Well, let's
Yeah.
not send
Go up
anyone
and
like
find yourselves a meeting room.
we can't send anyone that's got important skills like our cook and everything. But yes, remind me how many adult Aarakocra do we have with us?
1 second.
Excluding you, of course.
We have 3, as well as excluding Iona.
Well, we could just send them.
That actually might not be a bad idea.
Be faster.
They
Yeah,
get there a lot.
It'll be faster. We can have one of them come back with a list of names. We should have asked them to prepare a list of names. We should have thought of this.
Well, there's Marina and Piki are still like with us, right? They haven't started floating back towards the group.
No.
All right. So we just send the 5 of them.
That's easy to explain to people why it's fairness too if they get uppity.
Mm-hmm. Iona, do you want to go with them?
Do you need... Should I?
Well, it just depends how long you'll be away.
You
Uh,
Your
could
choice,
be the
really.
one that flies back the list of names.
I
That way
could.
you wouldn't be along. That you wouldn't be away for too long then.
Alright. I'll do it.
Alright, that works.
All right.
Yeah.
Got my
So,
book and
for
pencil
the-
ready.
For the group of Aarakocra, it'll be about half a day to fly over there, by their own estimates, and then it'll be a further day or two before they manage to walk all the dwarves over there. It sounds like they're going at a pretty slow pace, which is probably why they lost your trail,
Mm.
because it just faded away because you were travelling faster than them.
Oh yeah, they've got like no wagons or anything and some injured, so
Yeah. So yeah, they're going a lot slower than you. And it does make sense that that's about where they would have lost your trail, given, the distances involved. So,
Maybe we
Yes,
should have
that is
brought
how
a
long-
wagon.
but Iona can make the trip. So Iona can make the trip to them, get a list of names, and come back within a day.
Okay.
well, if you want to bring a wagon, you could. It's just, well, otherwise you could just fly.
Yeah, but then they might get back fast, maybe? If, like, one of you guys wanted to take a wagon and meet us half.
Wouldn't even have to be us.
You
We
could-
could just send a couple of people, I suppose.
Yes.
What do the rest do you think?
How about tell you what, when you get there, find out if any wagons find out if wagons would be useful, and tell us when you get back.
Yeah, send them out if we
Hmm.
need to.
Because it'd be quite difficult to make sure everyone meets up and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's a good thought though.
It is a good
Okay.
idea.
Go get them home safe.
Okay, I guess we'll just leave right away then.
Well, isn't it like
Bye.
isn't it like
It's
evening?
evening.
Yeah.
You might not.
If you want to fly overnight, you can.
That makes sense. I
You've
mean,
been up. You have been up all day.
yeah, I'll probably be a sloppy flyer. Best
It's
get
only a
some
level of
rest.
exhaustion, it's not going to kill you.
Hmm.
Never use these words around Dax.
Exhaustion can and will kill you.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your choice. You can leave now, or you can leave in the morning. I imagine your friends would probably appreciate sleeping in a bed.
Yeah. I'll let them nest with me.
All right. So I think we have a plan.
You have a plan. And the two Aarakocra are suitably awed by your new fortress.
Mhm.
You might feel a sense of pride, even though you didn't really build any of it. You reclaimed it. It's yours.
Yeah.
There's a thought before we all go in, and I'm looking at this two knocked down trees as a drawbridge, and I think we got a couple of days. Could we build something nicer than that? Just so when all of them arrive, that's not the first sight they see.
I mean, we could at least split the logs and make it slightly more flat.
Exactly.
Well, it's doable. More or less.
We got enough people. Don't need to be scavenging right now.
Yes, you don't have anyone out gathering at the moment because
Yeah.
Singebeard is able to summon enough food for everyone.
For a day.
So, or technically all but one person or something, but that's within the margin of error for the resources I'm keeping track of. So yes, able to summon enough food for everyone at present. So you can have a lot of dwarves devoted to other things. You've sent off the 3 Aarakocra to go do scouting. You've still got a few injured that need fairly regular tending to. So with a dwarf doing that, with dwarves on guard duty, and with dwarves, it depends if you want to take dwarves away from clearing the blockage, but you can probably spare enough to build a drawbridge. You don't have anyone who's particularly talented at it, but you've got enough people who could do well enough.
No, as much as I would like to have it up so when they see they can arrive at, well, not this, but we'd feel awful foolish if one of the person who arrives was an architect.
Just split it down.
I think
for
you're
the
right.
sake of-
Split it down and we can build something fancy if someone turns up with the skills.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So the plan will be that they split the logs in half, and then you will have a drawbridge that is twice as wide and also flat.
Good.
It's still a bit too shaky to bring your wagons inside on it, though.
It's true. I think Citron taps a hoof on it and just shakes his head.
Okay, so you will retire for the evening?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
There's definitely a renewed energy in the fortress. A little sense of hope, celebration.
I should move myself to bed.
That's what I'm doing.
You just hope that not too many hearts get broken, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Once, yeah.
Interesting. You can't drag if you try and drag your token straight through, it doesn't work. You still have to
Yeah,
drag
you have
them
to follow the thing.
through passable terrain.
Yeah, you're not allowed to go in the fog of war.
No, it's like you can't go
It
through
was more
walls.
something to stop you accidentally going through walls.
Yeah, it's because there's light levels, it stops you accidentally hopping into it.
I know, but like it's because when you're moving the token, it has vision even when you're moving it with like dragging it, doesn't it?
You can't move your tokens through like a sight blocking wall.
It's just interesting because I'm just trying to drag the token straight up to my room and it doesn't work. I have to like manually do it.
You have to go through the maze.
I think overnight, well not overnight, but just in the evening before sleeping, I'm gonna try and do some sketches and write some descriptions of those beasts, just so I have a record of them somewhere.
You've also got that lovely study right there.
Yeah, exactly.
You make good use of the study. It is a good study.
And I have a room with a desk. I'd have it in me to call it a study.
Okay. The night passes quietly, which is for the best, I think.
Do you have any horrific nightmares?
Some of you might have horrific nightmares. That's up to your discretion.
I see.
Where the old wounds have been reopened.
I have dreams of bird ball.
Aw, wholesome. We don't hear any like screams as the two other birds have like horrible flashbacks.
They fall so deeply asleep the moment they reach Iona's nest that she may suspect that they haven't slept in days, and they just skip the dreaming phase of sleep straight into deep sleep.
Wonderful.
So just going to put an extra blanket on.
This is just like he just remembers being cold and that's
Yeah.
bad enough.
Stupid cold, stupid mountain.
Wrong side of the mountain. Let's go down, not up.
You're all safely underground now.
Yeah,
And you pass the night safely.
Back in our rocky
You wake up in the
room.
morning, and everyone is up very bright and early. So there's a renewed energy around the dwarves as they buzz about the fortress, kind of starting their tasks for the day. But there's also a fair amount of distraction. You'll often wander across them, sort of daydreaming, staring into space.
So I think the first thing to do is to see our leaving party off. Make sure they have provisions, Like any paper they need for recording. Anything they might want. Oh, do we have any... So I know we've got loads of barrels and stuff. Do we have any, like, small enough barrels that are, like, transportable on a flying bird?
Yes.
Trevora's going to suggest that the party brings, like, a small, like, transportable keg of beer or something, just so, like...
Just get something out the horseshoe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like one of them, but it's one of the things that's, like, small enough to carry on a bird back rather than being, like, a big old giant barrel. Or a bird back, but you know what I mean. So, like, when they arrive, that they can, like, give everyone there, like, a nice drink or something as, like, a congratulations, you're safe now.
Well done for not dying. A+.
I'm sure they'd appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm resisting the urge to quote Monty Python at this point.
Do
Ignore
it.
me.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
no.
Oh,
You've al-
there's no Monty
you've al-
Python in my roleplay.
You've already brought Monty Python to the roleplay, you've just been shit about it.
It's not a question of where they grip the barrel. It's a simple question of weight ratios.
An African or European, Aarakocra?
Alright, I'm done, I'm sorry.
Liar.
Okie dokie. If everyone's done, and with that, Bird Squad are off. Iona goes with them, I assume?
Yep.
Yep, your little
She's just a
Bird
little
Squad
late.
flies off. They're all excited to be reunited. These other Aarakocra were not in your Bird Ball team, but they were still reliable members of the Fortress Guard. And, yeah. You have a fairly pleasant journey together because you're all in a good mood.
Excellent.
And the dwarves continue their work on clearing their way through the mines, and with this many dwarves on it, because it only takes a few to just split the logs in half over the course of the day. You don't have the best tools, and they're very, very big logs and so on, but yeah, you manage to dedicate quite a few dwarves to clearing the blockage to the mines, and they make very good progress on it. And at one point, sort of late afternoon, one of the more experienced miners stops and comes to get you. Is there anything you lot would have liked to spend the first part of the day on? Akeem, your kids are getting involved in the mining. They've got, like, they don't really have picks. The picks are all a bit big and heavy. They're just shifting little bits of debris. It's cute.
It's alright, it's good work for it's good work for a young dwarf. 40 years old, you'll get your first pick soon.
I think, because you said everyone was being a bit distracted and daydreamy, I think Trevor would have spent the day, like, playing leader of, like, okay, we need to take this bit next. Okay, you two come on, focus, and being like an overseer and rallying and making sure everyone's working efficiently and keeping everyone focused and being a good.
There's only
fun
room
dwarf.
for so many dwarves to mine at once as well. So the other dwarves, you manage to keep them hurrying along as they do the final bits of cleaning to the rest of the fortress. It's now pretty much, because you managed to dedicate a lot of people to all these tasks, pretty much there with it.
You have like this nice thing where you have some people that are doing like mining, which is really taxing work, and then there's other people. The people that are transporting stuff around and like organizing rotations. So like the taxing work, then they can take a break doing the like less stressful stuff and all that sort of thing.
You got a beautiful little efficient system.
Yeah.
Underway.
Probably feels quite satisfying actually to be doing something properly rather than just scrabbling up rocks.
How do you find leading?
With something as practical as like, okay, mining, this is a thing, been around, I kind of get this because, you know, she's proficient in this sort of stuff. Like, this is her with a simple problem and a task that she can organize people, and I think it feels really good from someone who's been dealing with mysteries and, like, big complex ideas and uncertainty and managing food and like all of these things that are just like way over her head. It's something practical that she can solve that is very dwarven, I think. Like it's very heartening. Sort of feels like she's in her element, and that's comforting because she hasn't been, like, very aggressively hasn't been for a while.
Excellent. So, since she's overseeing it, yes, she's probably the one they turn to in the evening when the lead miner sort of presses his hand to the wall, this very old, experienced dwarf, and she says, "There's not much rock left here."
Right. Well, in that case, I think we. We definitely want to wait till Iona is back before we open it up in case it's anything nasty, and most of us lot to get exploring. So, I guess that's, you done for the day. I assume that's what you meant.
So.
I assume that's what you meant, that we're nearly through?
Yes. Yeah.
Alright, we should probably
Very good.
have somebody keep a watch on it, though. I don't know if I'm just being paranoid, but after all that time thinking about things in the deep, I dread to think what's on the other side of here.
Oh, I don't think a guard is paranoid. I think it's smart. Sure, we can pick some unlucky bugger that gets that duty.
Yeah. That's fine. That's you can kind of assign a guard away. You do have to pick people early enough for night duty so that they don't fall asleep. They get into a bit of a routine, but you can get one of the guards who's been guarding at night and get them.
It's not like this is a long-term job either, because we're breaking through this wall pretty soon. It's just like a...
Yeah, it's just one night, really.
Alright, the rest of you, are you doing anything with your day before Iona returns?
I'm honestly not sure. I think, to be honest, if I've got a spare day where there's nothing that needs doing, I'm just going to start collating every single bit of paper we can get our hands on and just reading through it all, just to see if there's any useful information that might be here. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm just trying to read everything.
Yeah. So, would you like a recap of things you found so far?
That's probably better than me going back through my...
Yeah.
Okay. That requires me to remember.
Oh, I'll go back and see if
Sounds so
there's
far.
anything in.
So, but if you want, if there's any bit of evidence that you found that you want to examine in more detail, I think that's it.
Okay. You know what? Actually, I
anything you
think I
found-
thought of something better to do, which is
Mhm.
I assume there are like engravings and carvings and such throughout the fortress. We've
Yes.
I think in our reasonable hurry to get through and clear out all of the rooms, I don't necessarily know how much attention I've been paying. So I guess what I want to do is see how much of the fortress's history I can divine from the various engravings that are around the place.
Yeah, you've never looked at the engravings in great detail, and the ones, especially the ones in the big fancy halls near the entrance, and yeah, you can. The ones that had the history of battles in the sort of guard areas. You can piece together a bit about the history of the fortress.
Okay.
Let's see. So, as we've discussed before, the combat-based ones, as they got more recent, obviously that's relative, they became mostly fights with orcs. You can find images of... There's not a lot of them, but mixed in with those battles with orcs, which are predominantly what they fought more recently. You find images of combat with sort of general critters and creatures that, especially given what your fortress was doing, you would probably be aware of as living in the Underdark.
Okay, that's interesting. So we can assume fairly. I mean, we probably would have assumed that they'd broken into the Underdark anyway.
Yes.
But that's actually useful to know because that might tell us if we think the mines are the way we're about to open up. That might actually tell us what might be down here if there's a route through to the Underdark from there.
That is very insightful. And yes, the carvings on the wall, now that you've cleared this room of rubble, it does indeed confirm your initial suspicions of mines this way, kings this way, everything else this way.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to depictions of kings, there's images of sort of heroic deeds a lot of them have done. Sometimes they do nice things for people that live in the fortress, so that's good. There's some weird imagery. So you noticed in the entrance hall that there was one of the statues was a bird and one of the statues was an elf mixed in among the dwarven kings. King is a gender neutral term. I don't know if I've said that. That's what I'm using it as. All the dwarven kings. So yes, there's one elf mixed in and one bird, and you notice kind of so at the entrance here to the king bit, there are sort of little depictions of like deeds by various kings, including one by the bird. There's one of the bird sort of shielding some dwarves from a scary monster.
Oh, is
And
it
they're very brave and valiant.
from context? Does it seem like the bird might have been a king of this fort?
Well, she does have a statue in amongst all of the
The rest of them?
kings in the central chamber, and the same for the elf. They both have statues with similar looking regalia.
Well, now that's interesting.
There is no image of the elf, however. And I think that's most of what my notes say about a re-examination of the engravings, unless there's something specific you're looking for, like a specific angle.
To be honest, I'm just trying to track back a general history. Maybe try and work out exactly how old the fort is, although that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But like, I don't know if there are any like sort of runes, descriptions, any writings or dates that might have been carved into the walls as well.
There's not a lot in terms of dates,
Yeah, it seems a
but
bit
you do
optimistic.
know from these statues in the big sort of fancy entrance chamber, you can see that there are 18 statues of dwarven kings. Well, they're not all dwarven. One's a bird, one's an elf. Of kings of this fortress. You can try and make some guesses based on lifespan, although it's unlikely that most of especially the dwarves, would have ruled for their whole lifespan.
Right. Oh.
You can tell, maybe looking at the engravings, that they've been a lot of them have been refreshed over time.
That makes sense.
And you can also see, kind of looking at the stone and the corridors, that although the rooms are a bit small and cramped, a lot of them, they weren't expanded particularly quickly. There'd kind of be one little batch and then another little batch of rooms of maybe 8. The fortress appears to have grown very slowly, and judging by the amount of rooms you've seen, it never reached a particularly large size.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh.
I mean, it was big, but not as big and cool as your fortress was.
Well, there's plenty more mountain to carve out. Cool, that's
Okay.
interesting. Oh, now I really want to open up the way to the kings. I want to find out more.
Yeah.
Me too. But we decided we
There's
want
two
to
options.
forge.
There's the practical workshopping option and mining option to get all your industry up, and then there's the like
Nerding.
fortress history nerd one.
Yeah. Oh, I will go to Dror and Singebeard and mention the connection to the Underdark and the possibility.
Oh.
I don't suppose I can speculate as to what kinds of creatures might live in the Underdark that we might encounter.
You may speculate because your fortress did have its whole Underdark thing going on. So there was a moderate amount of knowledge about the Underdark. Some kind of appropriate skill check to see how much you know.
Can I make a history check?
Mhm.
Oh man.
You know,
Yeah, even though your fortress was engaged with the Underdark, you didn't take enough of an interest with it. You had some books on it, but you don't remember their contents.
I guess maybe because because my wife was a member of the Ironclads, I'm just like, you know what? I don't
That's
need to
her
know
thing.
any of this stuff. It's
Okay.
fine. She knows
Okay.
it all.
You know who else?
-1 though,
was
gets
a
an
member?
18.
Well, that's because you're a member of the Ironclads, right?
True. God, I picked the wrong background.
Ironclad, you know quite a bit about the Underdark. I assume you have enough OC knowledge to be like, here are some plausible Underdark creatures.
I mean, it sounded like you were describing an Underhawk, but then it started changing and looking differently, and it could have been all sorts.
Yeah, the creature that was described, one of the clowns, that was not an Underdark thing.
Mhm.
I can picture all sorts of nasty things from the Underdark. I speak Undercommon, which is fun. And when is it a fair assumption or a fair thought that when you were talking about like, oh, it all looks different to different people and all the weird stuff was happening in people's heads and weird screaming and things, could my brain go, oh god, illithids?
Your brain may do that.
Okay.
Yeah, with an 18, just reasonable use of OC Underdark knowledge is applicable.
I think then when this is shared by Akeem, there's like a little flash over her face that she just sort of like looks for a couple of seconds and looks very disturbed and not happy with what you've just told her about it maybe having quite likely having Underdark connections.
Hmm.
That's not good.
No. I mean, that's why we had such a force to defend the inside of the fortress. In fact, that could be an issue. We certainly don't want to leave this place open, particularly if we're not using it yet. I don't know if there's any way of closing it off in a sensible way. Probably take too long to construct a door, right?
Is there any implication that this place was also hit by the same thing?
Well, no. If there is a connection to the Underdark that is down this way because they've mined sufficiently deep, then this fort has been abandoned for long enough. There could be any number of things have found their way up into the fortress.
Oh, I thought you were saying that it was our previous home that was that.
No.
You're saying that they think
No.
this place could have had a similar fate?
No. This place has not delved so deep as that. The Underdark is, if I understand it correctly, just a natural consequence of mining. Eventually, you reach it. I'm not talking about delving so deep that strange beasts start appearing.
I was just curious why you think that there could be anything that's unpleasant through here then that would mean we shouldn't explore it.
Oh, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not saying that we shouldn't explore it. What I'm saying is that while we are exploring it, we want to make sure that nothing can slip by us and get out into the rest of the fortress.
Oh, I see. Because it's going to be larger than the other area, and we'll be able to do it in one go.
Almost certainly.
Well, that's actually a good point.
I'm not sure what the best way of doing that is.
Maybe when we get in, there'll be a more suitable point, but this is like a quite tall area, isn't it?
We should probably post up at least a few guards while we're in there exploring, at the very least.
I think that's going to have to be it. What do you reckon, Singebeard?
Don't see much else we can do about it. I mean, assuming they caved this in to stop something. I mean, these don't look natural, so any doors they've got in there probably wasn't enough anyway.
Well, it would be wonderful if we could have a lovely, large stone door like we've got, there is near the front, but that may be a bit wishful thinking. Guards will have to do for now, I suppose. We can always reassess.
Hmm.
Okay. Just checking my notes. It looks as though you sold, I believe, and I'm just gonna double check. I have the numbers out of your pile of weapons, but how many did you retain for guards? I don't believe.
I think... Didn't we just sell all of the trash weapons?
You sold all the trash weapons, I think.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to equip a lot of guards. The Aarakocra, who were guards in the first place, have weapons, and a handful of the dwarves have kind of rubbish makeshift weapons. But most of the people who were particularly competent at fighting ended up going down fighting. So
That makes sense.
I guess then, well, we are hopefully trying to find a forge, and we have a smith. So,
Assuming I can actually roll.
yes, that is true. Well, you always, because you didn't have a forge, the dice gods decide. Nuffle was like, no, do it properly. But yeah, I think, well, that's once again we want to find a forge. I think though, if that is that, we're now, I guess, waiting for like Iona to get back, then sleep the night and probably go in the morning.
Yeah, that seems sensible.
I think that's the plan.
okay. Iona, you have an enjoyable flight getting on with your Aarakocra friends in the fortress.
That's good.
There's only 4 of you, so I imagine you've all grown at least a little bit close during the time that you've had. And you've all been stuck scouting ahead and doing guard duty all the time, so...
We would have a lot in common.
Trading notes on the best nest materials in this place.
Yeah.
Some of them are kind of messy. Some of them like a pretty old, like organic bird's nest type nest. One of them, she's real prim and proper. She used to only have the finest cloths for her nest, and now she's upset at the lack of selection. And yeah, you enjoy your flight over. And it is quite a long trip. It's about half a day. You will end up stopping to take a few breaks en route to eat snacks. That's cute. And yeah, you arrive at a very tired, sort of slightly desperate but hopeful looking group of mostly dwarves. The only other Aarakocra that survived were your 2 friends.
Okay.
And yeah, it looks to be approximately 30 dwarves. Most of them appear to be either pretty young or pretty old. Again, a lot of the dwarves of fighting age would have gone down fighting to get the others out. But still, there's a few dwarves you might recognise in there. You've probably been to see the doctor a few times for your bird ball injuries.
Probably.
And And yeah, they mostly seem in okay shape
Okay.
because the ones they've lost quite a few on the journey. It sounds like.
Bless you.
Apologies.
So yeah, you're able to get a name list from the dwarves, and then yeah, I assume you fly back straight away because you have time to do it within the span of one day. Go there, get the names, and fly back.
Yeah.
It'll take them a little while to get to the fortress. Probably 2 more days by your estimate. It's a lot slower when you have to walk through the forest.
Well, I dropped off the party supplies and congratulated them
They
on
looked
almost
very
being
pleased.
there.
They're very happy about the party supplies.
Did anyone ask for a wagon?
They didn't ask for a wagon. One of them suggests when you bring it up, oh well, you could meet us halfway with a wagon.
Okay.
Some of the little ones could probably do with resting their feet.
Sounds like a plan. We'll send one right away.
Nice. Yeah, Iona just has a nice little... I assume Iona enjoys flying.
Yeah. One of her favorite
nice scenery
pastimes.
around here. Yeah. No, actually... Where's the map? Let me just check the map a sec.
Yeah, I guess I should probably give them vague directions.
So, if I take you to the world map a moment, they are draw shape. They're sort of down here. You can't see that because I haven't revealed the map yet, but I shall. I will reveal kind of along the area you travelled down because you can see it.
That's
You
fair.
travelled it. You flew there. Oh, that's not working. Reveal areas. There we go. There you go. That's your flight route.
Now we just
Okay.
need to explore, like, in a small semicircle to the west of the fortress, and the map will be perfect.
Uh-oh. They're gonna go right past the elf territory.
They are. You fly over where it's supposed to be, but you don't see any sign of it sort of flying past. Not from a few miles away and far up in the air. But yeah, no smoke, not much of a sign of a village being there, but that's where they told you it was.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking if I want to direct them to avoid it at all. Might be smart.
Mhm.
Don't want them
You
getting
can certainly do that.
hijacked by...
I see we have trained the racism well.
Well, I don't know them. Why should I trust them?
It's very fair.
I don't know. Same reason you trust a Peaky?
That was different.
If there's an elf with 5 eyeballs, she'll trust it.
Well, I haven't even seen them.
Oh my god. It's a fucking turkey.
It's so cute.
This is your trip.
What I'm learning is that apparently iron will be delicious if cooked up with some potatoes.
Wait, what?
Look, you are nowhere near needing to resort to cannibalism.
Is
in
it
this fortress.
cannibalism? They only lived 30 years. Is that people?
That's your problem. Yeah, so you make it back by evening.
Alright.
All is well. The flight is pleasant.
Drawing it back, I love it.
You make it back to the fortress.
And everything's on fire.
Yeah, everything's on fire.
You and
The stone is on fire. Trees are on fire.
could be.
You can't leave these people unattended, Iona.
It's all my
'Cause-
fault.
Iona is the sensible woman of restraint. Okay.
Yeah, so I assume it's just kind of bedtime.
Probably.
Unless you all want to push through for a late night raid.
I think we'll
No,
everyone.
I'd rather
make
have my
sure-
spell slots, thanks.
What spells did you cast today?
Alrighty, if you
Oh, food.
want
Food,
to...
twice.
Oh, are you casting before we go?
That's the point. We're going tomorrow, so I'm not casting it.
Oh, right. So we're not having food tomorrow.
You
Or
like
rather, we're delving
well,
into
you-
stores tomorrow.
You've got your stockpile of food,
I mean,
which I'll just
If
count
we
down.
get out of it at the end of the day without me having expended a third spell slots, I'll happily use it.
like the
But
food
I'm not
lasts.
doing it.
Fair enough.
I'm not doing it in the morning.
The food lasts 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So like you cast it before you go to bed, I imagine,
Yeah, generally.
and then it's good for like the entire.
Oh, okay.
Like that would be how I mean I would spend the spell slots just before you regenerate them, but that's how I do it.
I've done more or less in that time.
Does anyone
Okay,
notice that we're back?
Yeah, like as I said, I think
Ye-
we're not just gone straight to sleep because we're kind of just like waiting for you to get back. I imagine, as I was going to say that like there's like 30 people coming. We greet you outside. We greet you outside with like plans to like, okay, this is where you'll be sleeping. This is where the food is. It's good. We're glad you're alive. Thank you for being live.
And the list?
So I guess I'll grab the list and I'll hand it over to Urem.
Yeah.
And basically get her to contact everyone in the fort and let them know who's on the list, and then also sort out like rooms for them for when they arrive.
Okay. Yeah, I need to set up these encounters because I didn't know if you were going to open this today or not. And I mentioned at the start, I haven't put all the sprites in and things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to quickly find all the pages and things whilst you sort yourselves out.
Did
Okay.
Iona say that they needed a wagon or not?
She would tell you. They requested a wagon.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess we can send like literally like we said you to send you. So if you say that, we're like, all right, that's fine. You've made your choice. I mean, probably. Or we can probably organise a wagon and. Citrine, would you do the honours?
You sending your horse?
Seriously?
Why not? I'm not going to need it.
I mean, it's a good point actually. Like Citrine could probably do it like on her own.
She's smart. She's strong. We're not
Would
like
everyone
sending lots of
Someone else
supplies.
be a little confused.
Why would they be confused?
Well,
Should we send Citrine with a note?
Oh,
I was about to say, I'll write a note and I'll just
I
like.
assume some
pin
people
it
are
to
going
Cit-
as well.
Citrine.
You're
Oh,
not
yeah,
just
like-
sending a horse.
No, we're not just sending the horse. I assume like with
Really?
the
I thought we
person.
were just sending.
I mean, we could
Yeah.
just send the horse with a note that says, "This is from Otolomol. I am a friend." Just like
No. That's how we lose a wagon and a horse.
Yeah, let's send it. I mean, yeah, send a person. I would. Well, I like. Yeah,
Send
let's
a couple
person.
of people.
All right, okay, we'll
These-
send a couple of people.
These are forests. They have things in them.
It's true. There's dire badgers.
we'll-
They're going to rip our arms off.
You don't
We'll
want
tell
a
them
bear to
to,
turn up and just eat your
avoid-
horse.
My horse
Avoid
can
the
take-
elf area.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree. I was just like, I wasn't until Dak said it. I wasn't originally thinking just the horse. I was thinking of like, just. We could
Sorry,
also.
I have terrible ideas.
No, that's fine. We could,
No, the way you phrased it sounded like you were just sending the horse.
No,
Yeah.
I meant we said we'll send a couple of people and a horse to pull the wagon. Citrine, would you mind doing it? We can also have actual horses pull the wagon, and Citrine can just hang around so I can have conversations with a horse in my head, because even if I'm underground, I'm within a mile of it.
Not by the time they meet up with them, you're not.
That's why I said if they're not sent, I can have conversations with
Yeah,
them.
you should probably send Citrine, honestly.
Yeah.
I think sending smart horse is a good idea.
Also, honestly, the horse is probably more combat capable than the people we're sending with it if like wolves or shit attack.
Yeah, the horse is the war horse. War horses aren't bad. Druids can turn into them. It's
And
not the worst thing.
then when it gets closer, you can sense if there's any.
It will. If I'm within a mile, we can telepathically communicate.
Yeah.
And there's no restrictions on like stuff. I guess like certain anti-magic fields might do it, but that won't apply. So like when it gets within a mile, Citrine can be like, "We're nearly here. All these people are slow." That sort of thing.
I love how the spell is called Find Steed, and what you're actually using it for is Find Workhorse.
I read the first time it was summoned. I rode him.
To pose.
Okay. Sorry, I'm
I mean,
nearly
I
there.
rode him to a nice place to have a snack for 5 hours, but I did ride him. No, it was just posing. We did go for a trot. Look, right. When it gets to Find Greater Steed, there are 3 things. There are at least 2 fun things that it can be, and one of I have to make a decision between 2 of its things with wings, because one is probably better and one is cooler.
What,
But it
what
also
I
are
don't
has-
know why we want to fly in the first place, honestly.
Well, like if ever we're outside having a flying mount, it's pretty great. But there is a non.
Are you a
There's
dwarf or not?
I mean, it begins with a G, Peter.
I know what it begins. But dwarves don't fly so high.
That's true. But it has another form which does not fly, which I'm not going to spoil for Greater Steed in case we get there. That is non-flying mount, which I think
I
everyone
know.
will enjoy.
Is that the horny one?
It is the horny one.
I don't know.
And
That's
well,
what I think.
if we get to level, I think it's 13,
Yeah,
you'll
that's
get
not
to
bad.
see.
Okay.
Oh right, yes, because you're a paladin. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's Find Steed. So while Kate is fiddling, I'm just going to have a quick OC point out of how broken that ring we have is, if we
No,
want to
we're
abuse
not
it.
doing that. We're not doing that. I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it, and we're not doing it, but because that ring lets you cast a spell and it counts as you have cast it, but anyone can put a spell into it,
Yeah, you can use it to
you
get
can
rid of
do
it.
so much horseshit. For instance, I can cast Find Steed into it, and all of you can cast Steed, and you can all get a Find Steed. You can do the same thing with Familiar. You can do you can do because it's your concentration. You can cast a really good like long concentration spell in it, and then give it to and the fighter can cast a concentration spell from the ring, and like great, now that fighter's concentrating on something that when it previously couldn't. It's so you
The
could
ring
abuse
is cheesy as
fairness,
hell.
In fairness, it does require attunement, so you can only It's not like you can just hand it around and everyone can cast out of it.
Great. That's a short rest between attempts to do it.
Mm.
Like I put Find Steed in it. You attuned to the ring. You cast Find Steed. Congratulations, you have a steed.
Find Seed persists. So.
Same with Familiar. Because you don't need to cast the spell to resummon your Familiar unless it dies.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just not sure we're gonna do it.
We're
No,
not doing
We're not
it.
doing it.
I'm putting my foot down because that
We're
is
not-
cheesy and
We're
silly.
not doing it. It's utter BS. It's just one of those items that is incredibly break when you have spells that are basically class features. That item breaks it. Which is like Find Steed and Familiar are the 2 that come to mind.
It's a silly ring.
It is a silly ring. Yeah, the other really powerful thing is you give concentration spells to like things that don't have concentration normally, and hey, you've got a free concentration out of something. But that's again quite cheesy.
It weirdly means that giving it to a caster is arguably one of the worst things you can do with it.
Yeah, the sensible thing is to for
Put
serious
concentration
situations.
spells in for someone who doesn't have concentration.
8-hour concentration spells on the archer at the back that never gets hit is really good.
Hmm.
Sorry, you're in dungeon mode
That's fine.
now.
We're talking and stalling while you put things up.
Appreciate it.
Fill in that dead space with delicious brie.
Yeah. I kind of thought you'd get the migrants in before you opened it up.
No.
It's not a problem.
Nah.
I
I just
was
wasn't-
fine.
I wasn't
That's
prepared.
fine. Urim can greet them and be like, and do all that shit.
If we're in there for more than like 2 days.
Yeah, that's also true. We're probably gonna like go in and I don't probably want to sleep in there if I'm honest.
No, neither do I.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
either.
so like we're gonna open up and then come out and etc. etc.
We might have to get people to replace all of the rocks at some point.
Yeah. Don't you have like shaped stone once a day?
I do. In fact, I can cast Wall of Stone.
Yeah, there
Like
you
when
go.
we're done, and we
Yeah.
just need to lock it up. I'm like, fuck this, Wall of Stone, done.
That's useful.
Alright, Wall of
That's
Stone,
very
how
useful.
big are you?
Oh, stone's fine.
It's
is-
panels, so it's shapeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 10-foot by 10-foot panels, so that is more than enough to block this up considerably.
Yeah.
It does have a 10-minute concentration though, so...
Yeah, but it can still be.
Oh, if you maintain it for the whole duration, it's permanent and can't be
Yeah,
dispelled,
that's what I
so... But then we'd have to
Yeah.
remove it every day.
Well, no, I'm not saying we do it every day. I'm just like, if we decide that we
Then
just
you
nope
shape
out.
stone into a door.
Oh, that's true, actually. We can just, like... Yeah,
And
we
we
can
have
just,
a
like,
stone door.
mine through it. That's brilliant.
Okay, like, new rule. Every day, you use this combination of stuff that we're not in combat to make really giant stone doors everywhere. Do you have shaped stone?
Liar.
Yeah.
I thought it was on the lyre.
No, it's not. It's the lyre makes walls happen.
Ah, damn. I thought
Shit,
shit.
it's 4th level, and it's also no more than 5 feet in any dimension. So we can make... So we probably need to do it like twice, like half a door, other half
Oh
of the door.
wait. Wait, does it? It does have stone shape, but not wall of stone.
Oh.
Hang on. Let me. Sorry, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go grab my DMG.
Okie dokie. I am nearly ready, but I'm also going to take this opportunity to run to the loo real quick.
Go on, man.
Permitted.
Apologies.
Themselves.
Look, there's some fun things for you right here, because you got all these shiny items now, so
Mhm.
They have all the shiny items.
gonna put that to good use.
All right, I return with my DMG, so I can actually look up the stats of this thing without having to like try and find it. Oh look, I literally opened to the right page straight away.
Nice. That is
It is stone shape. Yeah, it doesn't get wall of stone. Huh.
okay.
I'd misunderstood that.
Get this one stone.
I mean, yeah, it does say, it explicitly says in the spell description you can shape a stone door or its frame. Oh wait, no, you could shape a stone door or its frame to seal the door shut.
Okay.
So I don't think I can make a door with it.
Oh, shape stone. Can't you shape? Can you make a door?
I can make, I
You
can
can-
turn like rubble into stone blocks that we can then use to build a wall.
The object you can make can have 2 hinges and a latch, but finer detail isn't possible.
Yeah. The thing is,
That's-
because the dimensions is no more than 5 feet in any dimension, you can't, like... I guess we are dwarves. We don't need doors that
Or,
are bigger than 5
alternatively,
I
you
keep
do it
it.
once, you make the bottom half of the door, you do it the next time, and you kind of like do the top half, but the top half can meld with the bottom half, because you can shape it to match where there's the... Like, you do the bottom half, and there's the break top, and then rather than doing the 5 feet up, you do 4 feet above it and that 1 foot, where you're including melding it together, and then you have a door. It's...
Good morning, everyone. You woke up. It's a beautiful day to smash your way into a new section of this
Amazing.
fortress.
We're gonna die.
Cool.
Maybe.
I'm gonna cast light on my shield.
Roger. What do I have to apply?
Hang on.
2020.
Yeah, it's 2020.
I'll go light up an arrow,
Okey-dokey.
which I don't know.
It's
And-
torches and light are easy to remember because it gives you good vision, which is 2020.
Akeem emits light. It's hard to do the dark vision as well. So maybe if I give you a shield and light it, I think that's better.
I was doing this
Shield.
specifically so we didn't have to dick around with additional objects. I could just light a torch.
Okay, let's do a
Alright.
torch. Otherwise, you don't get your full dark vision.
No, wait.
Fair enough.
Cast light
If you
on the
emit
torch
light.
rather than lighting it. Just-
Oh my god.
torch somewhere?
You fucking monster. No.
it's exactly the same mechanically.
No, I refuse. I am lighting the torch. I'm not fucking casting light on a torch.
And this is why you don't get paid the big bucks.
None of us get paid.
This is not galaxy brain thinking, though. I am the worst.
I hate you.
Oh, I'm glad you know that at least.
Oh no, wait. You need to get like something that cast light on a fire that is emitting too little light. Like cast light on a lit candle. It's now a good candle. This is why I'm not allowed cantrips.
This is why I'm gonna throw nasty monsters at you.
Sweet.
Yay!
Sweet. So, the miners very cautiously bust open the entrance. They only open up a small little gap.
Yes,
I
please,
think
don't like.
That makes more sense. So it's not really. I dramatically deleted what was already there, but actually, it's really.
A small
more
gap
this
is
kind
better.
of setup.
Yeah.
A small gap. They maybe even keep a large piece of rubble nearby and handy,
Mhm.
That would be preferable.
just in case. Okay. And, yeah, the smell hits you first from this new area. It's just foul, but foul in a different way to the other section of the fortress that you found. It smells very damp, and it probably brings back some memories for Dravora.
We're talking like dank cave and bits of sulfur and that sort of thing, as opposed to corpses.
Yeah, it's very underdark.
Okay, well, that's disturbing. She's visibly like, she does a reaction to like as the smell was over. I think. I suppose I'm going first.
Unless you want a lit up arrow to go first.
That's clever. Do that.
Yeah. I haven't got one right now.
Yeah, you do. You don't have one for the GM yet.
Yeah.
It's a minus.
Lit up arrow, hold
Just
on.
Gotta be around
take
here
it and have a
somewhere.
space.
You
'Cause it's
need to
gonna be
make a
recurring.
box on this map of parties like bullshit.
I do, but I forgot to do the arrow.
Huh?
Okay, here's an arrow.
You can compete. Like, is Iona's stash of irrelevant stroke treasure she's looted larger, or is Katie's giant box of the players requested bullshit from me box bigger?
Alright, Iona, you have control of this glowing arrow.
Alright. And here it goes.
Perfect.
Pew.
Very slowly moving.
Well, I have to
Okay.
count out its
Oh, there we
range
go.
too.
Yeah, true.
Your range is like 600 feet.
Yeah, but seeing as it moves is going to be useful.
That is true. God, how long did that fucking go?
I don't know. I wasn't on the correct row, so I saw nothing.
So, as it passes down the corridor, let's take a moment here.
Okay.
You see, firstly, the corridor, it's gross, there's like fungus growing on bits of the walls, It looks as though the air's kind of a bit damp. Just it feels like humidity has been trapped here because it's kind of near enough the surface to, I don't know, vary more in temperature. I'm not a scientist. This is just how it is. Yeah, it's reminiscent of the Underdark, certainly. And I did a bit of I rearranged this for dramatic purposes, but actually I think it's more dramatic how it originally was. Yeah, and yeah, you whip past lots of fungus. And this growth here, some of you may be able to see, there's a growth which, as the arrow whips past it, it doesn't look so much like fungus as like something that resembles Peaky.
Oh.
Peaky, the eye,
Yeah.
the floating eye, the big circle floating eye monster. That's what it looks like.
Okay then.
The arrow continues down the hallway, and here it's lighting up pillars, and you can see, those of you that can see the edges, I don't think any of you can actually. I don't think any of you can see the edges. Iona's the only one. Oh no, sorry. This arrow's gone way further than I realised any of you could see, because you're not looking straight down
Yeah,
the
it's just Iona.
corridor.
Well, it's almost halfway through its lifespan right there. So it's gonna keep going anyway.
It keeps going anyway. Iona, can you see from the arrow? The arrow shouldn't have sight. You shouldn't be able to see what the arrow sees.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
Hold on. I'll move it to the end.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, the arrow thunks its way down the corridor.
Look at.
You shouldn't be able to see it anymore, Iona.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe you can.
Well, I didn't go looking for it.
I never trust this.
As Iona is the one standing in front of the gap, just sort of, and was probably looking where she was firing that arrow. Just look at her, wait for her to tell us what she saw.
There might have been an eye monster.
Yeah, might have been.
That's what it looked like.
Let's do that again.
Wonderful.
You should go first.
All right. Is it? When you say there might have been eye monsters, do you mean right by the door or way back?
A little bit down the hallway.
Okay. No, that's
Right.
it.
I'll be in right after you.
I don't know why when I select Iona can she see the arrow? I deleted the arrow and made a new arrow.
I can see the arrow.
You should not all be able to see the arrow.
Huh.
I can no longer see the arrow.
I'm not looking
It's
for the
down.
arrow.
I will enter.
This arrow's been badly behaved, and I'm going to put it in a wall. You can all look at that. It will reappear once you... Yeah.
Is there a reason we
Actually,
can't see
that's
the
kind of
lights up
strange
in the
because you
distance?
shot the arrow... We'll go for... You shot the arrow in a straight line down the corridor, but now you cannot see the arrow as you step into
But
the
we should be
the
able to see the
corridor.
light, right?
You can't, though.
Hmm.
I mean, you can, but that's not where it is, so put it in a wall.
It
Well-
probably went really far.
So, I know the last time there was something lit up, but that was a person. I think it's a different spell. That light went off because they were destroyed. Is that the same thing for this one?
I guess if the object has been destroyed, yes. If it's entered an area of magical darkness, if it's passed through some field or portal or entered an area which has dispelled the magic, or I can't think of why, to be honest. There are a number of reasons, but they're all very esoteric. We should be able to see that light.
Okay, so danger. All right.
Mhm.
Hammer out, cautious advance, like looking off into the darkness.
Mhm. Okie dokie.
Do I hear talons on the stone behind me? Because,
It's Iona.
like, no, I mean, yeah, that's my point. Do I hear? Because the last time there was a dark, unpleasant hole, she just refused to come in.
She's loitering.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
this.
As you enter, you're coming up now on a little shrine on your left. Yeah, there's sort of moss growing on it. It's fairly decrepit, and you notice along the corridors there are deep gouges in the floor and scratches and scrapings cutting through all the engravings that were originally there.
Hold up a moment,
To the
Drapora.
left of you,
Yeah. Let's have a look at this.
Interesting.
it looks as though it was a small shrine originally.
Can I tell who it was to?
Yes, it's fairly obvious that it was a shrine to Limulas, the dwarven god of metals and minerals.
Yeah. Makes sense. Oh. Watch over us while we're in here. We're hoping to open up these mines.
Decided to label more things for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's really appreciated. I always forget I can do it.
These
Okay.
gouges in the
Yeah.
stonework, do they look like it's been done by like claws or by tools?
It looks as though it was done by
Okay.
claws.
Well, that's concerning. Not sure what kinds of beasts have claws that can tear through stone.
Big ones, I imagine.
Hmm.
Or ones from very down below that only live around stuff?
Perhaps.
Hat, the nice, fancy armor. Well, I am suddenly very, very glad I am wearing this.
Hmm. Me too.
Dwarven Smiths, do not let me down. You haven't yet.
You look good.
Okay. Everyone stop there a moment.
No, that's
Let me
itching.
just...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stop. No, the cinch... No.
When you
Stay.
said stop, I stopped.
Okie dokie. It is at this point that you all hear movement in the darkness ahead. Have you been making any attempt to keep your voices down? I don't believe so.
Not
I mean, we're not-
really. I mean,
no.
the burning torch is probably quite obvious.
The whole
Also,
situation.
like, a lot of us
is
have been
probably
heavy, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
I
not-
Quite
probably,
obvious.
I clank.
yeah.
yeah.
Like, we're being careful, but we're not being stealthy.
Okie dokie. It's at this point that you see a light emerging from around the corner, and I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Alrighty then.
Oh, no,
Team
that's
Team
not
Clank on the ball.
it. Team
Team
Clank.
Half Clank, not on the ball.
Okay.
I'm trying, okay?
I think these
You cla or
I'll be
are
unk.
two.
I'm okay with being unk.
it's very dwarven. What about Team Flaps? Or Team Pew? I like Team Flaps.
I hit it, it just didn't work, so I'll do it.
There you go.
Did it work?
Yeah.
it looks like you can all now see the correct amount of the light source. Up ahead. Good. That's nice. So that's Iona's initiative.
What's it doing over there?
It's emerging from around a corner.
The light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that solves that mystery. Somebody picked it up and moved it.
Sometimes
That's
it's simpler. than
weird.
that.
Singebed.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about this? We're not in combat, so to speak, but we're doing initiative order because
Mhm.
this could become combat at a moment's notice.
Charge action?
Yep.
Not doing anything yet.
All right, let's. I think maybe we should move up and be careful.
Makes sense to me.
Where did eyeball monster?
Is that where it was?
I don't remember. I don't think so. Watch your sides.
This is why I don't want to go too far forward.
Okay. So is that what you're doing? You're just staying still then?
Yeah, I'm standing still.
Okay. Well then, I will inch 5 and just have a glance down this corridor.
Okay. Glancing down that corridor. How far can you see? This is so
See
useful.
back to there.
Yeah, the fungus sort of. There's been like bits of moss over the walls so far, but down here it seems like there's a particularly large amount.
Okay. We're down west, did you say? Okay.
South.
Hmm.
Sorry, I thought you were asking
No,
about south.
I would.
I mean, west is a similar story. It's kind of basically less where you are, and then as you go south and west.
Does that
there
also
is
extend
more.
up to the northern passage I can see just ahead of me as I can see like 20 feet down?
No, the northern passage does not seem to have particularly more fungus.
Okay, then in that case, I will... God damn it, my mouse has decided it's playing silly buggers. I will inch back 5 and like back into line and wait. I can't move right now because I'm going to have to fiddle with my mouse a bit, but that's what I'm doing. Feel free everyone else to act better.
Okie dokie. Iona then?
She's not gonna go any more forward. She's gonna wait and
Okay. Iona waits and sees. In that case...
I feel like Akeem is not on the initiative tracker. Oh, there he is. I'm blind.
Akeem
I'm
is on
blind.
the initiative track.
Mhm.
The light moves a little bit.
Wait, which direction did it move? I missed that.
It moved a little bit towards the corridor where you are. Akeem.
Akeem is in the tank. Akeem is still in the tank. Did we lose him?
Oh, sorry guys, my mic was muted. Oh, idiot.
10 out of 10.
So let me do that again. So I'm gonna drop my torch. I'm gonna use my action to doff my shield, and I'm gonna use interact with objects to draw my crossbow.
Do you mean don your shield?
No.
No, I mean
Oh,
doff
doff,
my
right.
This is
shield.
drawing his crossbow.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah.
and I am not moving, and that is my turn. Sorry, I forgot I had my mic muted.
It happens.
Okay. Crossbow at the ready.
Singe bit. You're up.
That's your turn, I guess.
If you think something's going to happen here,
Are we all saying we are? No, that's not true. Our crossbow might do something, but I think so. I will get going.
I mean, I do get the sense that most of us are kind of,
Or you just braced and waiting.
at least for a little bit.
Okay, it's
Okay. I probably dropped into initiative too soon, really.
Like, we're only passing it in 6-second intervals here. I'm going to wait more than 6 seconds to see what happens.
the light is moving, and I'm. Yeah, the light is moving.
You guys can go ahead. I've got your backs.
Right,
What?
and then who's got yours once we go past these side passages?
Alright, so if we stay here, everything that appears in front of us.
Yeah. I'm just nervous.
I know, but trust me, I'm used to things like this.
Fine.
You keep an eye out on that light. You can probably see more clearly at this distance than we can.
Yep.
Honestly, if anyone wants to move, it's the one that can move fast.
That's true.
We'll keep this initiative order,
Yeah.
but stop doing turns in that case until it all heats up a bit as the light moves away again.
It's stealing my arrow.
It's definitely the
Uh,
arrow, right?
Singebeard, recast, before it disappears, recast it on something else.
Hammer it is.
So, Casey, that should dispel the light on
The arrow.
the arrow. Alright, so it was the arrow.
Right.
Okay, so either something is moving the arrow, or has picked up the arrow. It's gone back and forth, so it's not just a hill. The arrow got stuck in something that's moving?
Maybe.
Huh.
It's a possibility. Well, we
Well-
definitely know to be cautious now.
Well, I suppose we put it this way. Do we explore these side areas, or do we go to where we know there's something? And I'm inclined to say we go to where there is something. So we don't get trapped.
I don't want anything to pop out of the side areas.
Okay, I'm just going to head back, and I'm going to let the guards know that we're going deeper in, but that we're passing some side passages we haven't explored, just in case anything sneaks past us, so that they're alert.
Right.
I'll grab the guards and pop them at the door. Wherever. Go.
Alright, I will explain to the guards that we're passing a number of side passages that we haven't explored yet, and that, they should just stay alert just in case anything slips past us.
Okay, they
Alright.
got it. They've also got a big rock to block the door, but they don't want to use it.
I'm glad. Right, I've let them know, so yes, we probably can go straight ahead now.
Alright. Okay. Do you want us to still move in initiative? Or move as like a blob?
Yeah, I think we can drop out of initiative for a bit, and I'll let you know when to
Sure.
come back in.
What's that?
Yeah, I see something.
Oh, that thing. It's let me find like a nice description. So you're looking at from a distance, it looks kind of like a beholder.
What's
Just clarified. You mean a beholder, not a...
do you mean a beholder? Or do you mean a peaky?
A beholder.
Do I know what a beholder? Does Dravor know what a beholder is?
Yeah.
I think I know what this is.
Good. Good question.
I think she doesn't.
You might not know what a beholder is, but you might know what this is, because they're reasonably common in the Underdark.
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
Sorry, I like, Akeem does not know what this thing is.
Well, I have my 18 for knowledge of Underdark earlier. I can re-roll a different history check and fail it if you'd like.
No, I guess given your background and the fact that you had a good roll already on Underdark knowledge, yes, this looks to be a gas spore, a sort of Underdark fungus, which it basically grows from corpses, and as you kind of look around underneath where it's grown, you might see the remnants of a dwarven skeleton, which this nasty thing has grown from. And yeah, they look kind of like beholders from a distance, but as you get closer, you can see that it's just a really weird shaped fungus.
That is wonderfully disgusting. Do I know, is it like, if we kill it, is it going to explode in deadly spores?
Yes.
That's why I asked that question.
Good question to ask.
I think...
See if I can find like a picture of a gas
I
spore.
did not know that was a thing. I have learned something today.
I guess.
They're very deadly spores.
It's large... Oh, that's horrid!
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing, but that's horrid. That's like an 80s picture and I love it.
The older images. Oh yeah, that's creepy as fuck.
Can you share one?
This is the one I found and I think it's both cute and disturbing, so I'm gonna...
You find everything cute.
Well, only the monstrous things. Hopefully that will... God, I've got to
Scroll down the entire...
There'll be a few new messages button at the bottom.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's a little
that
silly.
is... They're dead.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. Well, having
So dead.
that's much less interesting.
They're both so silly.
Well, it's not going to explode in your face. Okay, so having spied this thing, back to this game that we play.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll hold up a stop, and like lower my voice. And like, I've seen these things before. Spores definitely from the Underdark. When they're destroyed, they explode from all sorts of horrible gas. So killing it when it's far away is good.
Oh, right, okay. Bows, then?
Yes.
Was anything?
Okay. Iona, do you want to do the honors?
I can do that from where
Rules-wise, I shall be dodging while saying this.
Oh yeah, I'm consistently taking...
I'm just assuming that you're all dodging at all times,
And
unless you
unless we
say
say
otherwise,
we're
really.
dashing. Like, at this point, yes. Because it's scary down here.
It is pretty scary. It's gross. It'll probably clean up nice though. You can already see just at the edges here that although they've been completely mashed, there's some remnants of some really nice crafting areas here.
is it worth it?
That's not for me to decide.
Alright, so, Iona, do you want to...
Come on, Crusoe.
It's not my turn yet.
Not in initiative order.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you do hear movement in the darkness at this point.
I'm getting my...
A sort of fairly moderately loud, fairly slow thump. Thump. Oh, you're shooting the thing. Okay. Explode.
Both of them? Or just one?
Which is the other one?
Well, I've got two there. 19.
Yeah, but there's only one thing to shoot.
Oh, right. There's only one thing to shoot.
Yeah.
So the first time you shoot it, it explodes.
Oh, I was being cautious because I didn't know how many hits it would take.
Well,
into a big puff of gas.
effect, yeah, which means technically you still have your movement and your arrow, unless you would have just shot twice and ignored the fact that it exploded.
Yeah, she shot them both in panic.
Okay.
Were you down?
Right, someone's keeping track of arrows.
I am today.
Alright, so we just go from doing the initiative track, like, from Iona then, if that's, like, Iona's turn.
Yeah, we're still not.
Because there's definitely something else out there, and that was probably a lot of noise. Yeah, I think... Go back to Cinchbeard, are we just continue to wait?
Okay. You continue to hear your thump, thump, thump up ahead. It is a disconcerting
Is this a
noise.
getting louder footstep of something that's terrifyingly large, or a getting quieter footstep of something that's terrifyingly large?
It's kind of staying the same volume. It's pretty echoey in here. It doesn't do a lot more stomping. Just, another 6 seconds worth of stomping, we'll say.
Curious. Yeah, then I think I will, continue to cautiously...
How long do those spores
That's a good
stay?
point. They, bug it off.
They bug it off.
They, burst out and just, blowing a dandelion.
Yeah, they burst out and then that's kind of it.
Cool. I'll, casually advance as to, here, I guess, as I can now start to see this larger one.
I can't see entirely what... I can see what you see,
I can also...
but not all the time. So let me know if you see anything, if any of you happen to see anything that you think I would want to explain.
There's a thing here.
That I might have missed. That is another one of these
Sure.
spores.
They're definitely gone, right?
They normally... This is fairly standard Underdark, you would know from being Ironclad.
Once they pop there, we'll dispersed. Despite reading anything in
Yeah,
these
they pop, then they're dispersed, and they're just these little infestations you get
Right.
in all sorts of corners of the Underdark.
There's another one down there.
Okay, everyone hold up a moment while I check something.
Being overly cautious, I'm aware of that.
That's because this is scary.
I know, I just want to meet the Cyclops. Ah!
Ah!
Don't like it!
Like that.
Sorry, don't worry about it. Everything is fine.
The DM said don't worry about it. ...
But the players did worry
So you
about
can see to your left and your right, they're a bit overturned. They're a bit... They've been rummaged through, they've been a bit mashed in general, but there are some remnants of workstations here, all kind of nicely laid out, and with the sort of stone bits underneath surviving and looking prime for some crafting once you get this place cleared and defungused.
I'll glance around at this and then turn around to Iona and beckon her up.
I don't wanna.
Get a more aggressive beckon.
Am I going to need to get closer so she can see it?
Oh, how do you have light? Oh, did you cast light on your chest or something?
No, she's got a scarf.
No, I meant the dwarf. Or are you holding torch?
I'm still holding a torch.
Okay.
Oh, there's as I look around, there's one up to the north there as well.
Oh,
Oh, you're right.
Right. Well, Iona, can you see in that light? Can you see where it is?
Uh,
You're gonna have to.
I mean, I can get closer. I just don't want to.
well, you've got a crossbow.
I could shoot it. All right, I'll shoot it. All right, I will put I'll put the torch down on the ground, and I will level my crossbow. And I will take a crossbow shot at that one.
I feel like D&D has significantly more floor torching than any adventure film.
I hope that hit. It probably didn't, did it?
It's within
Yeah,
range,
but I
right?
don't know what the AC is.
Oh yeah, we can see it. It's within range.
Yep, there hits. Which one were you hitting? The one in
No,
the
this
north?
one. All right. That's one down, and I'll try and shoot that one up there as well.
I will just...
That's a bit better.
They're not hard to explode. They're just very dangerous if you get caught in them.
Because someone decided that what D&D needed was literal mine.
Yes.
Hey, dog.
I mean,
heard you like
because
mines,
you know
so I put
she's
some mines in
encountered them.
mines.
Because she's encountered them before. Dravora is probably aware that this may kill the character. It was taken very
Oh,
seriously.
it's the one up there.
I'm pinging to
Yeah.
represent like.
Oh, I
Dracora.
see it now.
Yeah.
All right, I'll shoot that one as well.
We're just like walking forward, shooting things into the pitch black, and Iona's probably like, "What the fuck? I can't see it." No.
All right, so Katie, that was at that one, right? At this
Can I
rate, I'm
pick
going to
up
run low
my
on crossbow
arrow?
bolts.
Yeah, this is why I'm counting.
Can I pick up my arrow while I'm here?
Which arrow?
The extra one I fired.
Oh
The-
yes.
So if you're going strictly by rules as written, after combat you recover roughly half of your arrows.
So you fired 2, so you can get 1.
Yeah. So you can one of them is good, one of them is
2 down.
bust.
Yeah. It's worth keeping track of them
Yeah.
for now, but we won't need to keep track of them. I'm not too fussed about it once you've got the
Yeah,
fortress up and running
I
properly,
don't
basically.
usually bother, but at points where
Yeah,
a party is doing
It's-
potentially a long delve,
Mm-hmm.
and you've only got 20, I start tracking it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
Um,
possible to run out.
Yeah,
Also, our fortress doesn't currently produce crossbow bolts. So...
I can make them with my crafting thing.
Oh, okay, that's useful to know.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff, I'm assuming you have enough crafts dwarfs.
I can make
that
it with
can
my,
kind of get abstractly
my
replenished.
divinity thing.
Mhm.
But yeah,
In
that
the
takes an
meantime-
hour. So
Meantime, I think I'm going to continue walking sort of in this direction because that's where the stomping was.
Go real slow. Real slow. Stop, everybody. Katie's got to do some measuring.
I mean, I haven't seen anything in that direction, so
You haven't seen
I'm
anything in that
ignoring your
direction.
constant. Oh, I think I can just about see something in there.
And it is at this point that we're gonna go into initiative
Okay.
order, everybody. And we're gonna open with a little bonus from the darkness flung at Dravora. Dravora, you just feel this sharp pain in your head, and can you please make a charisma saving throw?
I can attempt it. 20.
Not bad.
It's like paladins. Paladins have not great saves, but we have that one.
Unfortunately, you still take damage on a. Why am I GM rolling? That's not what you
I
need.
assume I take half damage, right?
Yes.
It's fine. Like if 20 does not beat the DC when they. I think-
20 doesn't meet the DC we're running.
Yeah.
20 beats the DC. That's
So
half.
5.
Is 11. No. I rolled 3D. I guess if I do the full amount and then halve it, that's technically more average.
Right.
So
Thanks.
Oh, wow, hubris.
That's that's fun. That's 18 damage.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I know.
I don't know what does 68, but I don't like it as. Wait, did I do that right? Yeah, that hurts. Like, what is this sort of damage? Like,
That is
so like,
psychic.
there's just you see like with her free hand before like clutch her forehead and shake and just shiver and twist as if clearly
Oh
in
god, that's
a
terrifying.
significant volume of pain and just like through gritted teeth. There's something out there in my head. It's okay.
Okay. You were, of course, all warned at the start of this campaign about wide variety of combat difficulty and risk of character death.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just so we're all clear. And also you have all these shiny new things that you can
That's
test
true.
out on this monster. Singe Beard.
The only shiny new thing I have is armor, which does not help me on charisma saving throws.
I was gonna say.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Blind rushing into the darkness.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the thing.
That's a big boy.
It's a big boy. It's just because the sprite was big. It's oh no, it is big though. It's very big. It's a very big, very twisted, very deformed, vaguely humanoid creature. It's got a random distribution of facial features in the vicinity of what could be a head. It's kind of got like very misshapen, slightly differently sized, actually very differently sized arms and legs on each side. Yeah, it's carrying a really big club. And it's also
Oh, fuck, I know what that
you
is.
see the sort of you see the sort of big box underneath it. It's sitting on what looks to be a makeshift, very big chair, made from just things it's found in this room, bits of workshop and stuff like that. There's some smaller chairs incorporated into the very big chair.
Oh, I know what that is.
It looks as though you guys might have made a lot of noise in this very echoey place when you were busting through that.
I have
All
no
that
idea what it
big
is, but I
pits.
don't like it. It hurts. Wonderful. Right, well,
Cool.
what are you doing with the rest of your turn, Sinji?
Singe.
You have moved 20 feet.
I know how much I've moved. I'm taking a second to slightly panic OC. I'll be with you shortly.
Mhm.
It's fine. I believe in you all.
God, someone does.
I believe that running can occur.
Yeah, I might have to. I get one more, right?
Are you dashing?
I might have to. But... Nah, I should be casting spells anyway.
Okay. Just heads up, guys. Heroism is touch range.
I know. But... Actually, let me be sensible about this. Let me measure some distances. Ugly boy, because I need to be at least there.
I'm okay with you taking time.
With me what?
With you taking some time. This thing is horrible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and KE damage rolls.
Feel free to take all
Yeah,
the time you need.
that was a KT damage roll.
Like, yeah, remember the owlbear that like did max damage on
Yeah.
3 of its 4 rolls, and that the other one was a 6 out of 8.
Amusingly, if Iona had failed that, 2 hit points.
Maybe when I'm calculating how difficult challenges are, I should make time for the fact that I roll
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
True.
you should.
I should factor that into the difficulty
D&D
rating.
5th edition pitch is easy anyway.
Yeah.
I had to write an entire section into my encounter calculator just because I kept getting emails from people being like, these encounters are too easy. I'm like, I'm sorry, friend, this is
it
how
all
Wizards of the
depends a
Coast
lot as
designed this
well.
game.
It depends a lot as well on your party, I guess. Like, if you want to go real exploity with the magic items and things, that will make the game... I'd probably just make the fights harder, but, you know, then that'll be a lot easier. There's a lot you can do with, like, good builds versus bad builds in 5e.
If you've cast any spell, including a cantrip,
Yeah.
you can only cast a cantrip that turn.
Yeah, but I'm not in 30 feet, so...
Not strictly true, but practically, if that's only true if the spell you cast is a bonus action. For example, if I action surge, I can cast 2 action spells
Yes.
in one turn.
My point
thought-
is, I could spiritual weapons.
I thought there's a separate spellcasting rule that you can't
Nope.
cast.
Not true. Why? Common misconception. If it only applies to spells cast as a bonus action.
I believe you, but I want to read that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
actual surge just let
which
you
is-
do it.
I fully believe you. I just like reading things.
Okay, what is the range of spiritual weapon? Oh, it is 60 feet. Okay, we can work with this then.
You are completely
In
correct.
fact, I can actually move back 5 feet. Okay, so bonus action spiritual weapon. Time for hammer in front of it, please.
Hammer. I'll get the hammer.
This thing is not.
Hammer's got stats.
Yeah, it's because it's got a fuck up stat and it's got a good stat.
Yeah, it doesn't do very well, bless it.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
it is
It tried.
something.
Where is hammer appearing?
There. So it can't really make it move much further than that. Might as well actually make it attack as well while we're at it. Essentially bit of the character sheet. Spiritual weapon.
It boot.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Good job,
Cool.
Hammer.
That could have been better. Still, first blood. And then for my main action, because I've already used a bonus, we're going to cast a cantrip, which will be Sacred Flame. Dex save, please.
Dex save.
You're a giant boy sitting
Yeah,
down.
it's fine.
Please. Oh, okay.
It is fine. It's a KT roll, so
You're welcome.
yeah, it's supposed to be a decent spell, but you know. Yeah, okay, I believe that's my turn.
Roger. Next up, Dravora.
Okay, I can get to here. I think.
Yeah, that's.
So I'm gonna
I
get
did
to
some rough mental calculations, so I think we're about right for Akeem.
Yeah, no. I can't really do anything against like mind magic. I could dodge. I could cast Shield of Faith on myself. I could lay
Honestly,
on hands.
it's
some of
melee
my
is
healing.
not much better.
Yeah, but I have armor against melee.
Yeah.
I could lay on hands and heal myself a bit.
Hmm.
This is while I've got like a free action, etc.
I mean, do you think it's likely to charge you down? Is the question.
Well, I don't know what its movement is, but you know, like it's. I kind of want a Shield of Faith, I think. But like, it also could just keep sitting there melting my brain.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is or what it can do. So, other than it can melt my brain, I don't know if that's an at-will ability. And if it is, we should leave.
Yeah.
So I will start off with Shield of Faith because it is carrying a giant club. And I'm hoping that it will attack and aggro me. So I will cast Shield of Faith. This buffs my AC by 2. And I will note that I've spent a spell slot on that. And that is my turn.
Okie dokie. Iona.
Okay.
I don't think you can.
I can see it.
Can you see this?
I was thinking maybe I can even step back a bit more and still see it.
Oh, it's got such a big radius that you can see.
I think it's because the dark vision technically works by casting light.
The players should. That's the same as the problem we had earlier. Only the players should be
Yeah,
able to see
I've never previously had that
dark
problem.
vision light.
Yeah, like Iona should not be able to see that.
No.
No?
No.
No,
Let
you
me
should not be
check
able to
my
see
light
that.
settings.
You should only be able
I
to
shouldn't
see...
be able to see it from where
No.
I am.
Yeah, how far can you... If you draw a line, how far can you see it? Or just ping or whatever.
She can see
Yeah.
way too
'Cause she should-
way too far. I've kind of refreshed the light. Does that look any better?
You should see...
No
That's
change.
super weird.
She should see only like up to here.
Yeah, because that's the edge of my
Torch range, yeah.
torch range. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they should. So the problem is how dark vision works is players emit light that only they can
Right.
see.
But we can all
Yeah,
see
that's
each
dark
other's
vision.
light.
Well, I can't...
Ah, there we go.
Oh.
That's fixed.
If I just,
That works now.
Yeah. It was just Singebeard that had that
Okay.
problem, I think.
What did you do to me?
Stopped you
I'm apparently
casting
emitting
light.
a tiny bit of light.
I briefly became psychically attached to the rest of the party.
Yeah, you all emit a tiny bit of light when you're in dark vision because
That's how it works.
the dim light has a radius, the bright light
I
has a
understand.
radius.
But
and then the
now,
dim light
Iona, you
stops.
should not be able to see it. You should probably be able to see about to here.
Yeah,
right?
I can. Yep.
Cool, that's good.
Well, I don't know if I actually want to get closer. Is it possible?
Well, without dark vision, you won't be able to see it, even if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could ready an action to shoot at it when you can see it.
That would still require
But-
2 moves.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get closer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to get closer.
Oh, you wouldn't have to.
No?
Well, you've got a longbow, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But if,
You can ready an
But-
attack action to fire when you see it.
okay.
and the
that
problem
means
is not
if we
your
light it
distance
up-
to it. The problem is any light source's distance to it.
If we can light it up,
Yeah.
then your ready action would go off, and you would get your 2 attacks.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. That makes... So, already an attack
I mean,
then. For when I
yeah.
can see it.
Perfectly reasonable that turn.
Yeah, I guess that's all I can do.
Okie dokie. Next up. He
Walks over
stands
here,
up
punches this wall.
with great swagger.
On the plus side, that's used half his movement.
It has.
No, because if it was then it would have had disadvantage on the dex save, right? If it was pro.
Yeah, I wasn't praying.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just being...
Fair enough.
Fine.
Posing is a free action.
Fine.
Posing is always a free action. I've lost
It would
count
still
now.
have passed the
1,
dex
2,
save, don't worry about it.
Well, no, because then it would have been at disadvantage.
Still would have passed the dex save.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Looks extra grotesque now that it's getting nearer the torchlight. So from here it will use its psychic mind beam powers on Akeem and swing its club at Dravora because
Oh
it's
my
got
god,
big range,
it's this.
'cause
You're
it's
saying
big
this is a
club.
huge creature.
Alright, so this is a
This is a huge
Yeah,
creature.
it's
charisma save. Well, at least it's doing it to the bard.
And Dravora, that's an attack roll. We'll do the attack roll.
That's not a hit.
That misses, and it will do
I've changed my mind. I don't want to get closer to it.
half damage for...
Oh god, 16.
Could be worse.
I don't like it. It's fine. You have.
Okay. And I think that's its turn.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. You're okay.
That is not true.
It's gonna
Uh,
be okay.
oh,
Are you okay?
It might
Are
not
you
be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna start by
Tell us when you can see it, Iona.
yeah. I'm gonna start
Yep.
by stepping to there, which should I think
I
you
can
should
see
now be
it.
able to see it.
All right, ready, action.
Yeah.
Goes off.
Does that mean I get the double shot, or is it just the one?
I believe you readied an attack action, so you're taking the attack action, so you do get both. But Dax can correct me on that. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it's capped at 1, but I could be wrong about that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just because I think you're readying like don't when you get to because you ready the attack action and when you take the attack action. I don't think the attack action says on your turn.
I think extra attack doesn't apply.
Yeah,
When
Okay.
if you take the attack action when it's not on your turn, extra attack doesn't
Yes,
apply to
it
it.
specifically says when you take the attack action on your turn.
yes, I just checked that. You're right.
Yeah.
So you
Alright.
get one shot.
One is still better than
Here
nothing.
it comes.
How's 14?
That just hits.
Okay, we're aiming
Okay.
for 14, kids. Well, sounds like it.
That's maybe doable.
Yep.
And I also want it to be an exploding arrow if it's the right
hey.
range.
I mean, what's the radius of your exploding arrow? Yeah, can I make a slight suggestion?
Yeah, to not.
Well, no, exploding
No.
arrow does AoE damage. There's only one creature. Shadow arrow does the same bonus damage and maybe blinds things.
Which
Yeah.
would be good.
So if you wanted to do
Okay.
a special arrow, that might, just as a thought.
I just wasn't sure because it would only be for until my turn.
It's true. Explosion, it will do everything the explosion does and maybe something else.
Yeah,
Actually,
Well,
that does give us a little bit of a
with
bonus.
the does
If
the
it's-
explosion hurt you though?
I mean, the explosion might not, but the shadow arrow definitely won't, and the shadow arrow does the same damage as the explosion arrow.
Okay, well,
There could be things
Which
in the
one?
map that we can't see.
That's true. Do you want me to
Hmm.
find you the exact rules if you've not got it written down?
I'm just trying to remember if it was 2d6 extra damage.
You are
Yes,
doing
2d6.
yes, it's 2d6 additional damage. So you roll that.
Okay.
And it's psychic damage.
Yeah.
And
You can't psychic damage my psychic
Wow.
damage monster. How dare you?
We
Are
learned
you saying we
something.
actually can't? Or are you being snarky? Okay.
No, you can.
then if Katie needs to make a wisdom save versus
Yeah.
your DC.
Okay. The piercing damage is just
Piercing,
taken, I
piercing
assume.
damage is taken, the shadow damage is taken, that's not resisted. The wisdom save is for the effect. So you take the
It's
full
not
damage.
resisted. That we know about.
Okay.
It's not
wisdom
resisted from the save, it might be from
Yeah.
resistances. That's a fail.
Was it,
Alright, it is...
hold on.
Okay.
Was it magic damage for the mech bow, or?
yeah, it should be magic damage.
Yes.
Not piercing.
Yep, that's
Magic.
magic.
Okay, just making sure.
It's magical piercing plus 10 psychic damage, and that creature is unable to see further than 5 feet away from itself until the start of its next turn.
Yeah.
Sorry, until
No, so have I owned
It's on my turn.
Oh yeah, until the start of Iona's turn,
Yeah.
which annoyingly is before its action.
Yeah.
But it
Yes.
does mean that if we take ranged attacks against it, then we get advantage because it can't see us.
Yes, that's true.
which I'm going to take advantage of now. So I'm going to complete the rest of my turn.
Yep.
I've decided to change my mind about casting heroism. So I'm going to move up here. I'm going to drop my torch. I'm going to fire my crossbow at it.
Mm-hmm. Which has advantage.
Bear with me with this
Yeah.
one, guys. I am going somewhere with
I
this.
trust you. I trust you.
I think that hits, right?
Yep. Yeah, we were aiming for 14, I think.
Yep.
For 7, like, mundane piercing damage. And then
Okay.
I'm going to spend Bardic Inspiration to use Mantle of Inspiration on the 3 of us that are here. And I am now going to, leaving the torch where it is, move back.
Yep.
To here. So you guys now all have 5 temporary hit points, and you can spend your reactions to move up to your speed.
Okay.
2 things to do first.
I'll let you move first, Singebed, because you're high on initiative track.
Yeah, just a sec. I'm just adding my temporary hit points.
Sure.
To my relevant characters. Yeah, actually, I am going to move backwards because this thing freaking terrifies me.
I don't know if I want to move away from it. Like, it has its vision back by the time its turn comes around.
Yeah.
Annoyingly. I kind of want... You know, I need to be hitting it. I could move into its face, but... I think I might do that. Unless we're planning on running.
I've just noticed that because it's blinded, it actually will allow you to move away without getting attack of opportunity attack.
No, I can see
Oh,
within
it would
5
do that
foot.
anyway.
Yeah, I can see
Not
it.
within. You're not within 5 feet.
No, I mean, yeah.
Just
Sorry,
just to check how the blindness works. So blindness versus dark vision.
Technically blind.
It's not like dark vision or darkness. What it means is it physically cannot see anything further than 5 feet away from itself. Like its entire world is
Okay.
Yeah.
it's 5 feet in front of itself. It's like a magical effect.
Okay.
And so yeah, you guys not running away.
I'm thinking.
Oh, actually, technically we should do this in initiative order, so I will wait to see what you guys
Yeah,
do.
I know. That's...
So effectively, like, there's 2 choices if we're doing this as an out-of-combat chat. Either we run away, we just run away and agree we're not going to fight this fight, or we fight it. Like, walking back a little bit and waiting for it to come to us
Yeah.
just lets it blast us with psychic damage.
I think it can outrun us.
I am convinced it can outrun
I can
us.
convince it can outrun us.
All right, then I guess we go for it.
I think you should run away and let it try and squeeze through that little gap into your fortress.
I think it drops
comedic.
us way before that time. Actually, no, like, it can outrun us, but how fast is it? Like, it might be able to outrun us, but if it's dashing and we're all dashing, then...
Yeah, but if it catches up, then it can blast and
Yeah,
things,
that's
and
a good
catch
point,
up
like-
and blast and things. And
Well, yeah, I don't think we can outrun it, but that's my
All right.
opinion.
from our current position, I think we have to engage this.
Okay.
I might be wrong. What's your take?
Let's commit.
Okay, so we're committing, in which case, Singebed, what are you doing with are you spending your reaction to move?
No.
Okay. I will spend my reaction to move, and I will move. Katie, what spaces is it taking up? Because it's a 3x3. Is it taking up that section?
It's huge.
Yeah. Which is it like? Basically, I'm asking, does it start here or does it start here?
I can't remember what the technical. I just made this bright kind of the
It's
right
3 by
size.
3.
I'll
3 by
check.
3
It should be
Um,
3 by 3.
3 and 3.
Is it
So
like?
yeah.
Does it start here or does it start here?
It's-
Does it?
Oh, okay. It starts in the front
Okay.
one where its hand
So like,
is.
if I move to here, I am within melee range of it. Then I will
Yes.
take the heroic step of taking my temporary hit points and stepping within hitting distance of this creature.
You're already in hitting
No,
distance.
but
of
I
it,
need to
be
be able to
fair.
hit it. I don't have 10-foot range.
Yes. Yes.
I would like to be able to attack the enemy. So that's my reaction.
All right, and then I will
Right.
use my reaction. I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna drop my crossbow,
Oh. Oh.
and I'm gonna move here.
Oh.
Your shield is not equipped at the minute.
It is not equipped. I am equipped. I have literally nothing in my hands right now.
Your lovely magic shield is sat on your back being useless.
I'm gonna equip it next turn. Maybe I might equip my axe. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, the shield's an action. The axe is just a use object, right?
Yeah, yeah. I could just like get out my axe and then on the next turn get out my other axe.
Good.
Just fuck it, dual wielding bard.
But in the meantime, it is Sidgewit's turn.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of my turn now.
I'm just aware of it.
Can I have my hammer back, please?
It's there.
It's
Yeah, I can't click on it. Oh,
I
it's
know.
there.
Oh.
Sorry, it's there. I thought.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought it had gone. Thank you. I forgot the Fomorian. Sorry, the thing moved. So I thought it was under someone. I mean, the thing that I definitely don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. No,
Um,
this is a surprise.
I know what that thing is. It's horrible.
I wouldn't even know if you name dropped it.
All right, let's start off by giving the spiritual weapon an attack.
Oh god, it's one.
That's why I didn't mean to name drop it, because I didn't want you looking it up.
I looked at the picture. That's enough. I'm not looking at anything else.
How could you?
Not quite.
I
it's always
Google
good to
imaged
look
it
at
and
the
I'm like,
pictures.
that's horrific.
Actually, yeah, the image is a viable thing to look at because we can see it.
Can you show the?
Sure. Shit. A minute, I closed the tab down.
But
I have to find it.
anyway, I'm assuming that hammer doesn't hit because I'm
I will send.
Oh, that thing's grim.
Oops.
Where is it? Where was the image sent?
We've just been googling it.
hold
Ah.
on.
There you
There
go.
it is.
You did the same one,
Yep.
but facing the opposite direction. That was
It's
That's-
like a hideously warped giant thing.
So that's like, yeah, that's huge. That is 15 feet, 15, 18 feet tall, something like that.
Not
Yeah.
pretty.
Oh man, it's a shame we don't have like bonuses versus giants and shit.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Did spiritual weapon hit?
I don't think so. I mean,
Oh, okay.
No,
So
we
it's
are
AC
definitely
14.
aiming for 14. I thought it was 14. We are definitely aiming for 14. Okay, good to know. Could be worse.
You tried, Hammer. Good job.
Yeah, it did.
It doesn't do a good job. Don't encourage it. That was. That
I haven't
was
taken my
Devora.
turn.
I haven't finished my turn.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I just used
I
my
got
bonus
confused.
action to make the hammer attack. Sorry, I have a big toy I want to go off right now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay, for my action, I am casting a 3rd level spell.
Oh.
I'm popping Spirit
Ooh.
Guardians.
Fun spell.
It is a fun spell. I am surrounded by little spirits. They look like little kind of fiery, flickery dwarf shapes. I can designate any number of creatures that are unaffected by it, which is going to be the party. And in theory, the fortress dwarves, probably not relevant. And then I'm going to move up there. So I don't have this written down in thing. But for people's benefit, an affected creature's speed, it's a 15-foot radius. So it's currently affecting the thing. Its speed is halved, which is nice enough. And when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it makes a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d8 radiant. Successful for half. And I've just realised by casting that my spiritual weapon disappears.
Spiritual weapon isn't concentration.
Oh, you're right, it isn't. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's why I have both.
It's why it's like a staple.
Yeah. Okay, I am going full passive cleric mode. And that is my
What-
turn.
Can you, because this is the first time you've cast it, can you describe what this aura looks like?
It is a little fluttering around in the air for about 15 feet on either side, so it's quite visible. Are little dwarves. They look kind of like dwarves, but they're made out of white flame. They flicker like flame, but occasionally take the forms of little dwarfs with axes and hammers.
Awesome.
And they kind of flicker and fly around the area around me.
Is that your turn now?
That is now my turn,
Okay.
which is not technically done any damage on it yet, but it should hopefully when it gets to the thingy's turn.
You have prepare.
Well, it'll definitely do some damage on the thingy's turn.
It's true. It's true. It's very true. In the meantime, it is now my turn, I believe.
It is.
So we're going to start off by, I think in a very reasonable move, I'm going to attack it. Start.
That's plausible.
I'm going to land a hit. I'm going to elect to smite with a second level spell slot. So I will roll regular damage, and then I will roll 4d8. That's 4d8, right? Because it's 3d8 plus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just make sure. No, it's 2d8 plus 1. I've lied. I'm so used to undead. My bad.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oops.
Is this thing undead or a fiend?
Nope.
Then it's going to take 11 magical blunt damage and 15 radiant damage. And I'm going to take the opportunity to, with my extra attack feature, swing a second time, which is also going to land. I'm going to elect to smite with a second level spell
Yep.
slot.
Kill it. Kill it.
Yeah.
Paladin
Get it,
plus
it's my
damage.
Double 5 just re-rolled into double 1, just re-rolled into double 5. That's fantastic. So that's another 15 magical blunt damage, and oh no, that does not work like that. And another 16 radiant damage.
Okie dokie.
Okay. And
Just trying to roughly
that-
keep track of how much this thing's taking because it scares the heck out of me.
It's gonna have so much points. That is, I think, well, I don't. Let me just check my things. If these are bonus, don't need to do that yet. And like that's dumb. Let's not do that. So that will be my turn.
Okay. Iona,
Yeah. I think it's time for some.
it's your turn.
You're up by the
Well-
cup.
First of all, I can walk back and stuff because of the torch.
You
Nice
have
to have you on the team.
yeah. You
It's just a slightly glowing scarf disappearing.
But now I'm in prime position for some double sharpshooter action.
One of them lands.
One of them
Yeah.
lands.
Yep, one of them lands.
And that one's also going to be another shadow arrow.
Yes. Okay.
24 magical piercing, 4 psychic, and give us that wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Right.
Nope.
It remains. It cannot see more than 5 feet away from itself till the start.
Still see us though.
It can see us, but it cannot see the bird.
Has it had a turn since it was last
No,
blinded?
but the blindness.
The
It doesn't
blindness-
disappear on its turn. It disappears on the start of Iona's.
Mhm.
But I don't think it's
No,
had a turn
because
since
Kate,
was
because it
blinded.
was a reaction shot last time.
Yeah, I got confused. I was like, wait, have I
Nope,
missed
definitely
a
no.
turn?
You've done
That's
plenty
fine.
of damage.
Yeah.
Now, however,
Okay.
Now Chonky Boy gets to act.
Chunky Boy. Chunky Boy is not a fan of what's going on here.
Now he can suck a duck.
Chunky Boy is gonna smack the bard and do its dark magic on
Why?
Vora.
I mean, I
What
did
a
hit
turn.
it, but I guess.
no. We'll take it. We'll take it.
As long as,
Yeah, I'm still okay with this. I'm still AC 18.
as long as we have the nice supportive fighter helping to.
That's my
I-
job.
I'm just happy I'm not making a concentration.
Oh
check.
no.
Mhm.
You still happy
On the plus
with
side,
this?
if I'd had my shield, it wouldn't have helped. So I
Yeah.
feel justified in this decision.
That would have hit me as well.
That would
Okay.
fit all of us.
Dravoro, can
Yeah, I
you
was
make your
just letting
charisma
that attack
save,
resolve.
please?
Shit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm
Mm.
going to die probably.
Wait,
Uh,
which one of
Oh,
these is the
dear.
amount of damage that I take?
You take 24.
24. That
I
one.
take
24.
24. Oh my god, you guys.
I probably about.
I'm so happy I had temporary hit points, otherwise I'd be on the floor right now.
It's very possible Katie's going to drop me too.
You might get dropped. I don't know. This
Hey,
is
you can always
all on the
roll behind
dice
her.
list.
Well, you can always roll
So
behind-
we'll
okay,
get-
I'm not there.
so that's
That's fine. That's psychic, right?
Still above average for that roll.
Yep.
but-
I was gonna say it's me rolling, so
I'm on
chances are you
7.
are dead. Last time I think I rolled a 37.
7.
There's no point me giving you
For that
temporary hit
damage
points. I
roll.
can't
No.
give you enough to survive
No,
another
we're-
attack.
We're
I can heal.
We're at
as
the
a
reason,
bonus action on my turn.
we're at the reason I have thingy not cure,
hmm
because this is you're not healing through this. We're playing
Alright.
video games.
All right.
So it's my
Well-
turn.
Yep.
Yep.
I have to go all in
Yeah.
on damage. So I'm going to draw Bomber Cam, who is my new magical battle axe.
I just want to
I'm
point
going to
out.
two-hand it because I think it's
Ooh.
versatile, if I remember correctly. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
wail. I'm gonna attempt.
I mean, I'm going to heal myself and everyone under half health a little bit on my turn. It's not a lot though. It's 1d6 plus 2.
I crit it.
Yeah,
So that's 2d10
Okay.
plus 1.
Oh, roll that bad boy.
mighty dwarf.
Ow.
Okay. I'm happy with this.
Nice. Oh, Katie, at the beginning of its turn, it didn't take its damage.
Oh, I
It
apologize. How much
needs
damage?
to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okie dokie.
I'm glad I named this battle axe.
Okay, it
It
passes,
deserves
so
one.
it takes half of this. I
I'm
don't
glad
have
you
it
named it. The
calculated.
name clearly helped.
It takes half of that, so 9.
Is that when we
Down.
halve it? Is it
Always,
rounded
it's
up or
always
rounded
down
down?
unless specified.
Okie dokie. It's very injured.
All right, and since
If you want to see how injured, you can jump to this bit on YouTube. This is about 3 hours in.
okay, I'm gonna take
It's-
my
it's a-
bonus action to second wind,
Cool.
Smart plan.
and that will be my turn. Oh, all right, I will take that.
Okay.
Okay. Singebit.
Okay. We go. Start. Let me see what I want to do. I want to cast anything. Really? No, because I don't have you up. So, okay, we are going to start with spiritual weapon, trying desperately. Nope, it never does.
No.
And then
It's fairy fire when you want it, eh?
it's fine. It's the spiritual weapon.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it would, but I just assume the spiritual weapon is there because it likes bigger.
I like crit axe. Maybe if you named spiritual weapon, it would hit better.
That's true.
I don't think it
That's how
deserves
these
a
things
name.
work.
It's not good.
We could give it a
Oh, wow.
character sheet.
This is why it doesn't like you.
This is why it doesn't hit.
What else?
Because we treat it like an elf.
Harsh, friend. Not necessarily wrong, but Sacred Flame is technically the better play.
You
But
could always
I'm
assist an attack as well if you're not confident in rolls.
yeah, actually, yeah.
I'm not
assisting.
telling you like you have to.
No, it's the better play. It's the better play. So I'm going to use the help action on. Do I have to say who it is, or does I check?
But I believe you specify I'm assisting that person's next attack, but
I should think so.
Creature you aid. Turn you aid if any. Come on, one of you. I think you're right.
I seem to recall that's the case because that's how I've always said it. But-
Do you need to be next to them to help? I think I just need to be next to the creature, right?
Yeah, I think you can aid.
Okay,
I
I
think-
bird.
Here we go.
You need to be next to the target.
Oh, okay.
No, as in like the thing that's being attacked, not the target you're helping.
Yeah.
Oh, so I can aid any. I could aid the bird.
Yeah, you could
Yes.
aid the bird's next shot against it. That's
Right.
the thing.
I will clang my. Not sure why I'm actually hitting my arm. You can't hear it. I will clang my hammer loudly against my shield to distract it and aid the bird. Their next attack.
Yay.
Okay, that is my turn.
Okay. Let's load back. The game decided to. Okay, let's just load back into the game because it decided it would kick me out, and I need to be in the game, so I believe it's my turn now.
It is your turn.
Yeah.
Let me find where we are. Where? Okay, okie dokie. We're going to do this in order of what is entertaining to me. So, first thing we're going to do is... Oh god, I lost my character sheet because it blacked out. Blah, 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 blah. Damn it, sorry. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to raise Luthi up and shout for Autonomol, and we're gonna turn the tide, which should have posted into chat.
Yep.
I believe that's all three of us, right?
Mhm.
No, I haven't been hit.
Okay, well it's definitely me and
And also the
no,
monster?
I do not elect to heal the monster.
Oh, of choice. Oh, of choice. I thought it was just creature within 30 feet, and I was
No,
like,
that would
yes.
be 7 hit points for myself and Akeem. Assuming Akeem is half or under hit points.
Yes, and it's one roll for both of us.
Yeah, like I always do AoE heals and damages. There's the spell, one roll for the spell and it affects
All right,
everyone.
sorry. Yeah, I thought you were going to roll again. Yes, I will gladly
That's-
take those 7 additional hit points.
I don't know why I didn't add the +2 to that number on the
That's
roll.
right.
I guess I'm a dumb. So that's my bonus action. And then I'm going to attack, and I'm going to spend my inspiration for advantage because I really don't want it having another turn.
When did
Yeah,
you get inspiration?
understandable.
Hold on.
I did the recap.
Oh,
we get
okay.
inspiration for that?
That was my understanding. If I don't, I don't
That
have
was
it.
the case in someone's game.
It's,
I
it's how I
thought-
usually run it. I didn't.
I
I
realise
don't believe
Katie
we'd
was giving
confirmed
that
it
out.
that it was the case in here.
I remember. I thought on
can't
on
remember.
on
I
turn one
can-
we said that, but if I'm wrong,
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I might have said at the start and then forgot about.
Oh,
I
no,
That's
remember
very
then.
plausible.
Yeah.
Because that's
I
the kind of
Inspiration
thing I would
left
do.
over.
Okay.
Oh,
I was not aware we
I
were
remember
doing
never coming.
I mean, if do you want me to not have inspiration and then going on now we can have it?
You can have the inspiration, and we'll say from now on, definitely yes. Inspiration.
I swear I remember you
for
saying
big
that at
maps.
the beginning, or like I mentioned that Dax did it, and you said
I
that's a good
probably did,
idea.
but
We should do
forgot.
that. Just
Yeah.
okay.
It's
Well,
fine.
it didn't do what I wanted,
it.
but it's a hit. I will smite with a first level spell
Yeah.
slot because this thing terrifies me.
Yeah.
So that is 16 lovely delicious magical blunt damage, and then 11 radiant damage.
Dead.
Oh, thank fuck.
Oh my god. That thing
Wait,
was fucking
seriously?
terrifying.
Where the hell?
Seriously?
Okay, that went a
We've-
lot faster than I thought it was.
We've been dumping so much damage into it, it's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
There's just insane amounts of damage.
Wow,
from
I've
this
wasted
team.
a third level spell slot.
It's not a waste, friend.
I mean, it had 150 hit points.
That was not a waste.
I had, yeah, one more turn, and you would have all
That,
been
like
deep
there's
in
like
trouble, I
two
think,
people here that
so.
are one hit from
Nothing was
its psychic
wasted.
would have dropped us because even on half damage we're going down. I think.
Yeah,
That
I was just hoping to get maybe one more turn,
Um,
and then I could boost us back up by another 5, and yeah, that was dicey.
just like all of my spell slots into this.
I think that's a good place to end it.
Cool.
Let's end it there for today.
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah.
I
Let's
have
go to bed.
2 first level spell slots left. I have blown a lot on this combat.
It was worth it.
Mhm.
I promise you.
That was pretty
How's that?
excellent. Thank you for
That was
running
great fun.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Thank you for playing. You've got this whole new flavour of fortress
Of
section.
fear.
I don't feel safe. There's like
Yeah.
unexplored
That's
stuff
fair.
all around us and things.
Now that you've gotten used to having big chunks of the map explored,
Suddenly I'm really glad we have healers.
it's all gone dark again.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta go. But thank
Thank
you
you for
very much for playing,
That was good
everyone.
fun.
Thank you for running. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.